The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Why that song popped into my head as the news was on, but suddenly I fancied a bit of Kiss singing the Rolling Stones song 2000 Man, and I just fits. Kath has just tweeted, and I've retweeted, a picture of Axl Rose, but it looks nothing like it. I mean, you've seen it, Sam. Go and look at Axl Rose. No. I thought it was an old woman. An old woman. good song, that. It's Axl Rose.
It is. It's another one.
Where? Flipping heck, man. That's outrageous. Good evening, dear listener. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle.
Hello.
0344 499 1000. Can I just say, what a massive, massive shit Boris Johnson is. And I know we don't normally, but forget the marriage stuff. My marriage broke up. Marriages break up, right? Marriages break up. Right? And I was a little bit surprised that they were calling him out for that. He cheated on his wife. He's cheated on people before. He's got children with different women. You know what? So did my dad. You know, my marriage. It's a little bit sleazy, but you know what? I don't really care. It don't bother me. And the whole people are doing phone-in shows. Maybe on this station, certainly on other stations of the weekend. Well, will Boris Johnson? We've never had a divorced prime minister. Oh, who cares?
Haven't we?
No, we haven't. We've had who've been, we've had single prime ministers and shagging prime minister. We've never had a divorced prime minister. And people going, well, yeah, no, this could really scupper Boris's. Come on, man. You're having that conversation in 2018, a period in our history when the MPs are finally talking about bringing in a bill that will mean you can have a no-blame divorce. Because when you get divorced, you've got to blame someone. You either have to have a blame or do what a lot of couples do and go, do you want to take the rap? Or shall I?
Who's going to be unreasonable?
It's unreasonable or adultery, I think. There might be one more. And unreasonable is vague as anything. Because there's this poor woman who is, I think is 68, been married to her husband, I think, for 48 years and doesn't want to be married to him, but he won't divorce her because he's an SH1T as well. So she has to wait, and I can't remember, and I should know all this. I think they have to have lived apart for 2 years, and then they can get divorced. I don't know. But if she wants to get divorced, she should be able to get divorced. It's horrendous. And so in a period when people say, it's really easy to get divorced. Trust me, it ain't. Tell you what it is to get divorced. It's flipping expensive, man. Even if you're not fighting. I had another bill for $1,000 from my divorce solicitor. My crime, I emailed her a couple of times and got a response. Wow! So the whole, well, can Boris Johnson really be Prime Minister if he is divorced? Of course he can. Well, this is a stupid thing to say. That the potential next King of England is divorced. And murdered his wife. So anything. No, I'm joking, guys. We know that was the in-laws. So that doesn't get it at all. Right. 0344 499 1000. No, the thing that proves what an SH1T Boris Johnson is. Did you hear his description of Theresa May's plan for the Chequers plan for Brexit? It's like putting a suicide vest on the country
and handing the detonator to Europe.
Right. And didn't they start the inquest for the Westminster terrorist attack today? And it wasn't no suicide vests involved there. But, no, I don't think it was a suicide vest in Manchester, but it certainly was a suicide bomb. So to throw around things like that, and I'm the burqa thing. I kind of thought, well, that's, I remember my dad in the 70s pointing to a woman in a burqa and going, "Oh, look, son, it's a walking postbox." I remember that. It's lousy and it's sneaky and it's snarky, and we should be better than that. But I also get that Boris Johnson, likes to say things that are controversial. But comparing us, the Brexit, whatever, to putting on a suicide vest.
Also, didn't he encourage us to vote Brexit and then ran away when he got some responsibility handed in his direction?
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about Boris Johnson, okay, is he wants to be Prime Minister, okay? He so wants to be Prime Minister. So him getting kicked out and getting a divorce, that's clearing his side of the street so that when in 3 months, 6 months, a year, when he makes his stand, there's no skeletons in the closet, right? And also, he now wants, we're talking Brexit! But just because I'm really peed off with this guy, he now wants Brexit to fail because then he hasn't got any suggestion. If you notice in all the articles he's written about Brexit, he's not said, here's what I would do, or why doesn't she try? He's not done that because he hasn't got a clue, because he knows that it can't work. He knows that it can't work. And he now wants it to be a disaster so that he can come in and go, well, she screwed it up. If I'd been in charge, it would have been fine. I tell you what, Put me in charge, and I'll make the best of it that I can. I heard on James O'Brien's show that he would rather, Boris Johnson, the MP for Uxbridge, would rather be Prime Minister of a failed country than an MP for a thriving country. You know, and that's it. But here's the worrying thing, right? Things are about to turn. Because we all know that Johnson and that lot have... we'll do the fun stuff in a minute, I promise. 0344 499 1000. He and a lot of the Tory MPs have been having chats with Steve Bannon, haven't they? They've all been hanging out and having little meetings with Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, of course, was the guy, pretty much the brains behind Donald Trump getting into to the White House. And as I saw it happen, I thought this is going to come over here. I didn't think it would come over here so quickly. Donald Trump's campaign, each hustings, each speech, each... What do they call the big get-togethers where the people that want to vote...
Conference?
No, in America, the big... what do they call it? They call it big rally. Not rally, but anyway. Each one... He pushed it not a little bit further, but significantly further. When he took the mickey out of that dead soldier and laughed at the dead soldier's parents. When there was a disabled reporter in the front row and he did the, he did that. Mm-hmm. Remember that? He did the hands, clapping the wrong way and he did that. And I watched that one. I saw that one. I thought, right, if he gets away with that, anything goes. And he got away with it. The grabbing women by the pussy, got away with that. It was the mocking the disabled reporter was the one where I thought, right, we have just witnessed a significant turning point. Because not only was it unpresidential, it was inhuman. I always get the two slightly confused. Anyway, it was just rude. And it's the sort of thing that if one of my boys did it, they wouldn't because they're brought up properly. But if one of my boys do it, they'd be taken to one side and explained in a firm way why that was completely inappropriate and maybe you should go and apologise. And, you know, and the fact that he got away with that is like, right, this is it. He's won. And this is now how American politics are going to operate for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And my other thought was, it's going to come over here. It's going to come over here. And it has. And this is what Boris is doing. He's testing the waters at the moment. He's testing the waters. The burqa postbox looking like thieves thing, that was like his little toe in the sea. That was his little toe. After his chat with Steve Bannon, Bannon would have said something like, the more outrageous you are, you can say anything now. You can say anything, and the more outrageous you are, the more support you will get from the right and the far right. So the burqa thing, it was just a little tiny toe in the water, right? The suicide bomb, the suicide vest thing, because that is an outrageous, that's a disgusting thing to say. It's disgusting because people, it's kind of. I was going to say something. I'm holding back a bit, but. People have died because of suicide bombers in this country. We've lost kids and mums and sons and husbands and brothers. We've lost people. So you can't make a flippant comment like that. And there's been a bit of backlash in the papers, but not as much as you'd expect. And I bet there's loads of people online, I've not looked, going, well, he's just... In fact, someone was on Julia's show today, an MP was just, well, Boris just says what other MPs are scared of saying. Well, I hope other MPs are scared of comparing, an international deal with a suicide bomb. But this is the Bannon effect, man. This is the tip of the iceberg. Boris is warming up. He is warming up. And he is going to say more. When was the burqa thing? 2 weeks ago? Give it another fortnight. In another fortnight from now, he'll have said something more outrageous than the suicide bomb thing. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And the whole government... We'll do the funny stuff in a minute. The whole government is just... You can see them as a bunch of self-serving little weasels all positioning themselves for when Boris goes for Prime Minister and all trying to get a Brexit that works for them, right? What's his name? Steve Baker?
Baker, yeah.
Steve Baker. What's he the MP for?
It was somewhere in Buckinghamshire.
Somewhere in Buckinghamshire. And you watch. he is going to start aligning himself with Boris Johnson very, very closely because he wants Wickham. He wants a job with Boris in the cabinet. Now, I didn't quite follow this story because I'm bored by Brexit. I know we're doing Brexit, but it got me angry. We're not doing Brexit. We're doing the fact this government is full of scumbags, right? So he's part of this agency, him and Ian Duncan Smith and these others that think that what the Prime Minister came up with in Chequers, the Brexit deal isn't great. So they've come up with their own deal, and they were supposed to publish it today, and then they went, no, we're not going to publish it. It's not our job. This is the thing. It's not our job to come up with alternatives. That's the Prime Minister's job. It's not our job. OK, it's not. All right, might not be your job, but you get extra credit. If you've done the homework, let's see what you've got. You're saying that what she's got is rubbish, and it is rubbish, but you think you've got something better? Yeah. We've got something better, but, yeah, it's not our job. Publish the report. Nah. Now, Steve Baker is a slimy little SH1T as well, and I'll tell you why. I interviewed him 4.5 years ago, when me and Kath worked at BBC Three Counties. It was a pre-record. He wouldn't come on live. It took a bit of effort to get him on the show, and we had to pre-record it. We had to stick around all day to speak to him. Kath sat in the studio with me, and it was about this school, Penn School, right? Penn School was this school in Buckinghamshire near Beaconsfield. I drive past it sometimes now. And it was for kids with very severe disabilities, so blind kids, deaf kids, severe learning difficulties. I mean, really severe learning difficulties. And it was very small, number of pupils there. Beautiful grounds, beautiful old building, wonderful, wonderful place.
And it changed people's lives. And due to mismanagement, there is an argument that the trustees at this place perhaps were allowing it to be run into the ground, but that's one theory, whether that's true or not. But this school was getting closed down, okay, and there were campaigns to save it, but it was getting closed down. And so we on the show, being a local radio station and genuinely being concerned for these parents and these kids, we spoke to a lot of the parents. Couldn't speak to any of the trustees. They refused to come on. Instead, they threatened us with legal action for talking about them and then hired a PR firm to deal with their PR. Instead of talking to us, refused to come on and got nasty. All right, fair enough. We managed, after a long hunt, to get Steve Baker, MP for Wickham, where Penn School was, to come on and talk about it. And in the course of the interview, it transpired, and it was just 3.5 years ago, so I'm a little bit hazy on the facts, but it transpired that he knew the school was closing several months before the parents did. He had been told by, I think, the head teacher or one of the trustees that the school was closing several months, 4, 5, 6 months, something like that, wasn't it, Kath? Yeah, it was. That
the school was closing. And I said, why didn't you tell any of the parents? What was his reason for it? He didn't have a reason for not telling the parents.
I remember he had a lot of attitude, but...
Well, I said, what was the reason for not telling the parents? Well, I didn't think it was appropriate. Well, hang on a minute. You're the MP...
First of all, he denied that he knew.
Then he admitted. You're the MP for these, and a lot of the kids come in from out of the area, but it's the schools in you. You've got a lot of your people who voted for you, your constituents are in there. Why would you not tell them, knowing that if they knew earlier, they could mount a stronger campaign to keep it, and they could start looking for other schools, because some kids had to go hundreds of miles to get replacement schools. That was the scandal. Some were put in your regular schools, which was inappropriate for them and for the other kids, and some had to go hundreds of miles away. Right? Why did you not tell these parents? Because they could have mounted a good campaign, and they could have started looking for another school. Well, I didn't think it was appropriate. And then when we kept pushing this point, he then spent the rest of the interview having a go at me and the BBC, which is who we were working for. Having a go. He turned the interview, because it wasn't a cuddly, well, hey, Steve, it's great to have you on. Thanks so much for giving us the... No, we went straight in. So he turned the whole interview into an attack on the BBC, because he'd been caught out lying, because he said he didn't know about it, then he admitted he did. He'd been caught out, and he wasn't getting away with his usual
load of old flannel. We weren't doffing our caps and looking down at the floor. We were staring at him. It was on the telephone, but we were metaphorically staring him in the eye. And every time he took a step forward, instead of us stepping back, we took a step forward till we were metaphorically nose to nose. So every time I see Steve Baker, MP, doing something, I always think, I didn't like you. When I spoke to you, there was a very dark vibe, and you lied to me, and you betrayed severely disabled kids with severe learning difficulties. You betrayed them and their parents. So I don't trust you. I expect you could quite happily betray your constituents again and your country if it meant you got, Foreign Secretary? Maybe that's a bit much for him. Health Secretary? Could be. He's not in the cabinet now, is he? He was David Davis's assistant for Brexit, I think. But he's not in the cabinet. But imagine he could be Health Secretary. Education Secretary! This is what we're looking at, right? What you're seeing now is your government not giving a stuff about you. They don't care about you, man. They care about themselves. They care about what jobs they're going to get when Theresa May is out in 3, 6, 8 months. I give it... When is March? So we've got October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months she'll be out. 6 months, right? They're all scrabbling around trying to sort out their jobs for when she's gone. Boris is looking like the stronger runner at the moment, so some of them are kind of aligning themselves with him. That's what they're doing. And I don't give a stuff about politics. I find it boring and I find it dull, and it has very little immediate impact on me. But when I see these rich, now that's a problem being rich, but they got more money than I'm going to have or you're ever going to have. So when Brexit does hit you in the pocket, it's not going to hit them. It doesn't affect multimillionaires quite so much. But you see these rich, self-serving people sucking each other off to get the best jobs that they can for themselves, lining their own pockets. It really, really annoys me, man. It really annoys me. In a minute, I'll tell you what happened to me at a car boot sale this weekend. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain and Kath, 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
A star-crossed soapbox for sailor boys, stable girls,
I'm on the edge.
and stripper grands.
It depends who you're with and it depends on the situation.
Late Night Speech Radio with a difference.
Thank you.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
It was the TV Choice Awards today. I chose not to go. I was invited, but I'm a Celebrity One. I won that. I won that award.
Did you win?
Apparently so. Best reality show set in a jungle. Won that. So that's good. 0344 499 1000. Another thing! I'm angry today. I'm just testing to see what it'd be like if I did a real show. What's all this rollicks? Saw a bit too much in the first half hour, I get told off. About Serena Williams. I don't follow the tennis, but I followed this because, obviously I saw it afterwards, that she was in a final against a Japanese player, I
Osaka,
believe.
yeah, Naomi Osaka.
It was the final, and she got accused by the referee. Is that what we call umpire? Umpire,
yeah.
The umpire of coaching.
The referee was the grey-haired bloke that came on afterwards.
So she got accused of coaching, which is where the coach sits in the audience and kind of tells her what to do. She got accused of that and lost a point. And I'm kind of thinking, she's Serena. I don't know much about sport, right? But I know that she is pretty much unbeatable and is one of the best tennis players in the world, male or female. She's just got the skill, the strength, the brains. She's got it, right? She's one of the best tennis players of all time, right? And I find it hard to accept that she would need little hand signals. Remember that? We've got to think about the racist hand signal as well.
He did the 2 thumbs up.
Right. Little hand signals from the coach. She's like, I can't imagine Serena Williams on a tennis court going, man, I'm out of ideas. Let me look at... Oh, Steve's sent me to do the old 2-3-2. Okay, right.
going to I just can't imagine her doing it, right? Because she's a phenomenon. I mean, how long has she been? Her and Venus, isn't it, her sister? They've been at the top of the game 18 years, I want to say. A long, long time.
And she's been training for this since she was a kid.
Now, is Serena the one that's just had a baby?
Yes.
Right, okay. So she gets docked a point, right? And she has a go at the umpire. It's not particularly sportswoman.
Actually, look at sportsmen.
Well,
yes,
yeah,
it is.
exactly. Well, it's not particularly sporting. That's the phrase. It's not particularly sporting, but yeah, I grew up watching Jimmy Connors when he was a bad boy before he became a good boy, and McEnroe, John McEnroe, and their whole shtick was throwing their tennis rackets around and shouting. That was their act. That's what made them stars. And be on board as well. Becker used to do it. Becker used to lose his temper. Now, I've not seen tennis for a long time, so I don't know if players still do it. But that certainly was...
Yeah, they do. Nadal does it.
Really? OK, right, thank you. So that was certainly the act. So she was furious at being called a cheat. So she's calling the umpire a thief. You stole a point from me. You're a thief. You're a thief.
Well, she was also furious about being branded a cheat. I am not a cheat. I don't need to cheat, she said.
And this went on for quite a bit of time during the game. And then there was a little bit more argy-bargy. We watched kind of the highlights of it, me and Kath, before the show. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible to see such righteous indignation. Right. And then she has another go at him. And just as the two players are going onto the court, and so he then says in French, I guess it was the French Open, was it? He says it in French. Maybe it was Canada. I don't know. Maybe it was Quebec. He says in French.
I think it was American.
Why did he say it in French?
He's Spanish. Maybe it was.
Maybe he said it in an accent. All right. So anyway, he says, "Okay, you've just lost this game. You're losing a game. I'm taking a game." So the game, she loses a game.
Game penalty.
So it was like 5-4, I think, and then it became 5-3, and she's like, "What?" And she goes bananas, absolutely furious at him. Right, you're taking a game away from me? You just took a point, and now you're taking a game. And then the judge comes out onto the court, and she's going, "You can't do this." Now, here's my thinking, right? We've seen men doing this. That seems an unfair... The point being taken away, the umpire made a call. Was it the right call? I don't know. The umpire made a call. I find it very hard to think that she would cheat that way, almost impossible to believe that, but he made a call, OK. But then to take away a game because she was losing her temper? And we said men have done this famously, historically, throughout... 0344 499 1000, if you know more about this and you think I've got this wrong. Men have done this. This, to me, some people are saying it was a racist thing. I don't know. The umpire was white, she's black. I don't know. I would certainly say it was a sexist thing. What was you say, Kath, about how you were described at work?
Petulant.
Petulant? Mm-hmm. And why was this?
Because the boss had... we'd had a meeting before this other meeting that I was expected to attend, and I felt like I'd been treated unfairly. I didn't throw anything. I didn't swear. And I've seen both things happen in the office with male presenters.
Well, people throw... I swore when I was there. People, you've told me people throwing chairs around.
This was when I was a presenter, and I was presenting drive time. So, that's sort of second highest in the pecking order, really, isn't it? If you look at radio stations. I didn't swear anything, but I sat there in the meeting and I was furious, and they could tell. And afterwards I got called in by the deputy boss and ticked off for being petulant. So it's like, well, hang on a minute. At that point, I was like a 30-odd-year-old woman. Mm. And I hadn't shown off, I hadn't shown up or anything, acted out or anything. I was furious and I was holding it in. But told off for the look on my face.
Men getting angry, losing their temper, they're characters, they're forceful, they know what they want, they are assertive, they are determined. Women doing it, they're aggressive, they're bitches, they're petulant. And at the end of this match, and we didn't watch this, but again, I read it, apparently both the players, it was really emotional because Osaka won.
Yeah.
And she felt like she hadn't won it justly.
and Serena Williams felt that she had been robbed, but also felt that the drama had taken away from Osaka's win.
The crowd was booing.
Yeah, and she was like, look, this is now her moment, and I'm happy for it to be her moment. Let's not spoil it.
She put her arm round her.
And they were both crying. And then there's loads in the papers taking the mickey out of them for crying. For crying. Now, a bloke cries. Some people think he's a weak pussy. Some people think, gosh, what a guy, being able to show his emotions.
It's a real man. Passion.
Really showing the alternative side. The woman cries, oh, for goodness sakes, you're on your period. Come on. Come on, but wipe your mate. Come on, love. It is outrageous. There was the story, we didn't do it, and it fascinated me. And I checked out pictures, not for mucky reasons, for research. About a month ago, of the woman tennis player, whose name I don't know, who was fined... Was she fined financially or fined points because she changed her shirt on the court? She was certainly fined in one of those ways. I think it might have been money. And I think it was a few $1,000s. She was fined because she changed her shirt on the court. And the argument was, well, and I heard it on, again, phone-in shows, well, men do this all the time. Yeah, well, it's different for women. It's different for... Men do this... Yeah, but it's different for women. And I thought, well, maybe it is different for women. So I went and looked at the pictures. And what they hadn't made clear was she stood in front of a wall. So she's facing a wall with her back to the crowd. And she's wearing a really massive sports bra. You know, so it's not... People were phoning saying, well, it could be argued that it's sexual. You couldn't see her boobs. And she had a massive sports bra. Hey, if she had been facing the other way, do you know what? She still shouldn't have been fined. You know, it does seem a little bit one-sided. But the fact that she had made the effort and she was wearing underwear that made it impossible to get any kind of sexual thrill from it or see any kind of flesh beyond the top of her back and the kind of base of her back. And she got fined for it. And it does seem... I don't know if it's tennis in particular that is especially old-fashioned and sexist. I don't know. Or if it's still the world that is out of date. I think maybe it's the world that's out of date. But it's just nuts, isn't it?
An interesting point made by the Washington Post that I read over the weekend was talking about Ramos himself, the umpire.
Yeah.
He's got form for being spoken to by tennis players in a way that, in the way that Serena did. Difference being, when Nadal in the French Open 2017 was levelled with a ticky-tacky penalty over a time delay, and Nadal told him he would see to it that he never refereed one of his matches again. Nothing happened.
And that's what Serena said to this guy.
Yeah.
You'll never you'll never give me or take another point from me ever again. And it's just... Those two stories, it's got me so angry.
And there have been loads of blokes opining about this one and saying that, she's playing the woman card, she's playing, and afterwards in the press conference they said, would you change anything? And she refused to relent on it. And she just said, that she just felt she was unfairly treated. And she has to speak up on behalf of other women, and that her going through this will make sure it's different for other women. And loads of blokes coming out, and a couple of women, the usual suspects, saying that, it was an attitude problem and this is just to cover up for her being spoiled, etc. Again, do they call men spoiled and talk about them having attitude problems when they behave like that? If Billie Jean King sees she's got a point, I'm with Billie Jean King.
That was the point for me. I kind of respect her. And she came out and said, seems a bit unfair. That's when my ears pricked up and went, oh, OK.
She knows more about it than I do.
And because I don't know much about the sport, so the story been bubbling along in the background. We'll do the fun stuff in a minute, I guarantee it! Just angry! 03, I've scheduled the callers off. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Experience the unconventional,
Evening, boss.
the unpredictable, and the completely unorthodox.
Exactly.
With rule-free Iain Lee. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've got no internet for the last 4 days.
On Talk Radio.
You say Matthew Wright today was saying... What was he saying?
He was talking about how exploitative Big Brother had become.
Oh, unlike his tawdry little TV show that he doesn't do anymore. OK, right, interesting. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Here's something exciting I'm working on, right? So the weekend, my friend Simon came over to stay and we just watched movies. Went to car boots, had a roast dinner and watched movies. And we watched 2 movies. The Room, starring, I think it's pronounced Tommy Wiseau. I'm never quite sure, so please feel free to correct me. And then we watched the James Franco film about Tommy Wiseau, right? If you don't seen The Room or you don't know the story behind it, so Tommy Wiseau is this guy. No one knows how old he is, where he's from. He's got long black hair, and he wanted to be an actor, couldn't get a job, so he made a movie on his own. He wrote it and directed it and produced it and starred in it. It cost about $6 million to make. No one knows where he got the money from. And it's kind of like Plan 9 from Outer Space. It's a famously bad film. And I hadn't seen it. I'd seen the James Franco film about him, but I hadn't seen the Tommy Wiseau The Room. Have you seen it, Sam? It's a good film. It's not a good film. It's a bad film. It's great. Anything for you, baby. Hi, doggy. And we watched it, and I was thinking, we'll give this 10 minutes, and then I'll get the joke. It'll be fine. But it's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And then we watched the James Franco film afterwards. I know, controversial decision, James Franco these days, but I wanted to see the film. My friend Simon hadn't seen it, and I wanted to see it immediately after watching that. And it's an incredible story. So I said to Simon last night, I'm going to try and get Tommy Wiseau on the show. He said, good luck with that. I said, we'll have a go. So I got into work, and I thought, Tommy Wiseau, let me Google, see if he's on Twitter. So I found his Twitter, and the first tweet was from well, probably 2 hours ago now, but at the time it was from 43 minutes before I got there saying, I'm in London. What? And I thought, Tommy, I'm in London. So we then went on, Googled him. He's in London. He's in London. They're showing at the Prince Charles Cinema in Leicester Square. They're showing The Room, with Tommy Wiseau there to kind of do a Q&A afterwards. I'm thinking maybe next Sunday, if I get rid of the boys early enough, maybe we go Sunday night. And I'm like, this is incredible. So I've tweeted Tommy, I've tweeted his friend Greg, who also stars in The Room, and I've tweeted and emailed the Prince Charles Cinema, and Greg got back to me and said, email this person to try and sort it out. So there is a strong chance, and I know this won't mean a lot to many of you, but there is a chance that we're going to get Tommy Wiseau on the show this week. There is a chance. Unlikely he's going to be live in the studio because he's doing screenings all over the place, all throughout the week, at the Prince Charles Cinema. But I've said, look, I'm in London on Wednesday and I'm in London on Thursday. I'm happy to meet these guys anywhere and chat to them. Oh, sugar, I haven't got my Zoom. I haven't got my new one yet. Can you bring your Zoom in?
Yes.
To chat to them. Because, so fingers crossed, Tommy Wiseau's going to be on the show. It is an incredible... Let me find you a little bit of dialogue from The Room. Tommy Wiseau. Listen to this. This is great. So he's just been told that his girlfriend has been telling people that he's hit her, right? So he goes out onto the roof, and the first few lines are a soliloquy, and then he spots someone.
Hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, Johnny, what's up?
I have a problem with Lisa. She said that I hit her.
What? Well, did you?
No, it's not true. Don't even ask.
It's you've got to see it. It's an incredible movie, so fingers crossed. And if you want to tweet Tommy and Greg and the Prince Charles Theatre saying, please make this happen, then that might help. Be polite. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Sean.
Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Kath.
Hey, Sean.
Welcome to the show. What can we do for you this evening?
Yeah, it's about the Serena Williams thing.
Yeah, go on.
So this incident happened yesterday, and I was kind of a bit taken aback when I first saw it. So with things like this, I try to look at different articles and try and find sort of a balance, view eventually.
Yeah.
And I just can't seem to get away from just finding the way she acted a little bit sanctimonious.
We forgot to mention, by the way, she did smash her tennis racket. We didn't mention that. Yeah, go on. Why sanctimonious?
Well, it's because, they showed a little bit of tennis sort of thing on this. So she got done for a court violation. In tennis, you are not supposed to speak to your coach at all, full stop.
Right.
Otherwise, you risk getting penalised, and she did the racket thing as well. So the umpire was well within his rights to do what he did. He was completely following protocol.
She contested the first violation, though, didn't she?
She did, yeah. But because it was a mixture of the racket incident and also looking at the coach.
Straight after the coach thing, that was before the racket.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sorry, yes, I what you mean. Yeah, sorry.
So,
But also, Sean, I've seen blokes do worse than that.
Well, I was going to say as well, there's just an example. There's a player, a men's player called Nick Kyrgios, and he's quite well known for doing things like this, and he has had a go at a lot of umpires, and he gets, fined. He gets deducted points in matches as well. I just feel that Serena just had
Is he sanctimonious?
Well, Well, I mean, I suppose you have to balance it with both things. I mean,
is he sanctimonious when he does those things?
I guess so, yeah. In heat of the moment, he's angry at what's happened to him, even though he's wrong.
How understanding of you.
It's really interesting, though, that you are you're kind of defending him. You had to hesitate.
No, not
No, hang on a second. Hang on. Listen, I'm not having a go. We're having an interesting discussion. I mean, I'm really glad you called up, so I'm not having a go, I promise. But without that, you came in straight with she's being sanctimonious, and with him you had to hesitate and think, well, and it sounds to my unsporting ears that you're kind of giving excuses for his behaviour, but yet you're not accepting, you're not doing the same thing for her behaviour, and I wondered why.
Well, just to make clear, if he did exactly the same thing as Serena did, and the same outcome happened with the umpire, then I would be on board with that, because both players did exactly the same thing. They both should get penalised exactly the same.
Right.
I just feel that Serena was completely in the wrong, and she has no defence for what she did, because she knows the rules of tennis, and she got done for tennis-related things, and I just think she was losing the match. It's a little bit sour grapes.
She wasn't at
she
first,
lost
though.
the match.
You know, when you're talking about the coaching thing, you're saying that she was caught out. The point is, she didn't think she'd been caught out, and that's where it all began. So if you dispute something, you're allowed to say, aren't you? Because the male players do. You
can dispute something, and a lot of tennis players will dispute many things in the match, but you can't shout like she was at an umpire. I mean, put yourself in the umpire's shoes as well. Like, he shouldn't be shouted at like that. It's like rugby. There's a bit more respect in tennis than, say, football. There should be that sort of respect boundary.
All right. They're also not supposed to insert themselves in the game to the extent where, they influence the whole thing, are they? Umpires?
Are you referring to an incident from last week, was it?
No, I'm sorry, what did you call me?
Oh, no. I said, were you referring to an incident from last week? Because there was another incident with an umpire where...
No, I was talking about how he let her go on, and then he took another point, and then he... so she was upset about the perceived coaching. He let her go on. Then, was it then that he took the game point, or was that the final straw? Was that the game point? I can't remember which one it was.
That was the final straw, yeah. So he would have said court violation, and then he says deduction of game point.
Yeah.
But
I've never seen a game be taken away before, though.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I don't think. But it doesn't. But it doesn't happen. I've seen men getting angry, and the very few times I've watched tennis, boring, silly game. But the very few times I've seen men getting angry, and I've not seen them have a game taken away.
Yeah, it does happen. Yeah,
when? Tell me when.
Well, I can't think of a specific example, but it does happen. I promise you, it does.
Also,
because it's Serena Williams, it's going to be high profile. It's a US Open final, which is a major tournament.
Also, I don't think she was screaming and shouting the way I've seen fellas scream and shout. She was running her mouth, for sure. But I've seen men shouting.
Oh, she was shouting.
I don't think she was... No. Not like McEnroe used to do it from across the court.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it'd be more intimidating doing it at the base of the umpire throne. I don't know. She was shouting, definitely. It wasn't mic'd up so well. It was definitely shouting. But I think it appears to me that the umpire inserted himself into the game, and he came across as being, in my opinion, from what I've seen, and I've seen all of the shouty bits, quite undignified. In my day, but the umpire would just kind of sit there and just stare ahead if they were getting rollocked like that. Should he not have just done that? Should he not have just Or even, she was asking, could he not have apologised for that? I mean, saying, look, this is what I think. I apologise if you're offended, but this is what happened and this is the score. Let's play on. He didn't even do that. I think he did handle it very badly.
I think it was the only way he could have handled it, because I think Serena took it very personally.
No, but it's not
protocol.
No, but it's not the only way he could have handled it. He could have either gone into just staring straight ahead mode and ignoring her, or he could have said sorry that she was so upset, but that was his decision. He didn't seem to do that. Either of those things.
I see what you're saying. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I don't mean to do it to annoy you, but he has a rule to follow. He has a boss as well, and he has rules to follow.
But him following those rules doesn't exclude either of those two options that I've given. So saying that was he did the only things he could do, well, I've given two other options that would still fall within the rules of tennis, wouldn't they?
I see where you're coming from. I mean, you might have another umpire who's very, very reserved in comparison, but that same umpire still would have had to give her a court violation.
Here's the thing. Billie Jean King knows better than me. She knows better than Ian. I would suggest she probably knows better than you what goes on. And she backs Serena. And when you saw the referee come on to talk about the decision, he didn't say she was wrong.
I kind of buy the Billie Jean King thing, Sean, don't you? What horse has she got in the race?
Well, obviously she's a very, experienced tennis player, and I respect a lot of things she says and what she's done for tennis. I honestly really feel strongly that it's just a case of sour grapes for Serena Williams in this match.
Okay, but again, go back to the Billie Jean King thing. What horse has she got in the race? What benefit has she got coming out and siding with Serena Williams? I kind of have to trust her as an expert, as a world tennis champion, and as a woman. She knows that situation better than any of us. So what? Why would she come out on Serena Williams' side? Because she's got a vagina? Is that it? Or because she saw something that you haven't been able to see?
Well, I understand. It's her opinion, and she's got every right. But
her opinion. But it's not just like you're phoning. Hang on. It's not just you going. Well, the woman who just called in, that's her opinion. She's Billie Jean King, man. She's got her opinion holds infinitely more weight than mine or yours or Kath's.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. And if you guys, if you agree with her,
but I'm asking you the question: What horse has she got in the race? Why would she side? What can we think of any reasons why she would side with Serena Williams if that's not what she truly, truly believed?
I guess not really. I mean,
okay, all right, Sean. Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Simon. Evening, Simon.
Hello, guys. All right.
All right, mate. What you got?
Right, I'd like to make a statement and then a question.
Oh, there you go.
The statement is this. Your opening monologue was epic.
You're correct. Well done. It took me weeks of practice.
If I wasn't driving, I would have risen off my backside and stood to listen to that. That was amazing.
Thank you.
The question I've got is, we all know, and what you said is 110% correct, and we all know it. What can we do about it, man?
Well, I had a few suggestions, but it turns out they're illegal. You can't kill them.
See, now, I don't know where you would stand on this. I personally don't vote. Now, that is my vote, because I don't like the system, and I don't want any of them having any influence over me. Now, obviously, I'm a minority, and there are a lot of people that will recoil in horror at that prospect. But if you continue to vote, nothing will ever change. And if you're all very well saying, well, I voted for Green.
Yeah, but if you stop voting, nothing will change. Nothing changes either way. Whatever you do, here's the answer to your question. Is it pre-recorded news, Sam? Here's the answer to your question. We can't do anything. If you vote, nothing changes. If you don't vote, nothing changes. We can't do anything. They're playing out their little Game of Thrones. It's nothing to do with us.
But if you don't vote, then does the whole system not collapse?
No, of course not. The same people stay in, and it's everything's. Of course, it doesn't. The system doesn't collapse just because you don't vote. You're stuck with the status quo.
If nobody in the country voted, say there's a general election, right?
Right.
If nobody in the country bothers to vote,
yeah,
what would happen?
Nothing would happen. Everything they'd think that you're happy with the status quo. Nothing would happen.
So then, should there not be a box on the ballot paper that says none of the above?
But what is that going to do? It's not going to do anything. Voting doesn't change anything. Not voting doesn't change anything. Here's the thing. You want to know what changes things? A violent revolution. I'm not condoning that, but that's the only thing. And you'd need to get half the population on your side.
Well,
that's the only thing. A violent revolution is. But then, what do you replace what we've got with? A military uprising, a military coup. I don't want soldiers in charge.
In future,
yes,
I am going to vote, and I'm going to vote Caddick.
Oh, for God's sakes, man! Then we're all doomed, Simon. You don't care about this country. You're a traitor. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Je me baladais sur l'avenue, le cœur ouvert à l'inconnu. J'avais envie de dire bonjour à n'importe qui, et ce fut toi. Je t'ai dit n'importe quoi, il suffisait de te parler pour t'apprivoiser. Oh, Champs-Élysées, oh, Champs-Élysées, au soleil, sous la pluie, à midi ou à minuit, il y a tout ce que vous voulez aux Champs-Élysées. Tu m'as dit j'ai rendez-vous dans un sous-sol avec des fous qui vivent la guitare à la main du soir au matin. Alors je t'ai accompagné, on a chanté, on a dansé et l'on n'a même pas pensé à s'embrasser. Oh Champs-Élysées, oh Champs-Élysées, au soleil, sous la pluie, à midi ou à minuit, il y a tout ce que vous voulez aux Champs-Élysées.
So I've just gone to the Talk Radio Facebook page. I could pop there from time to time, right? Because I'm getting some tweets about, obviously, what Julia was talking about Boris, kind of all saying, being pro-Boris. I'm thinking, gosh, OK. So you go to the Talk Radio page, and this is it, you see, this is it. This is it! Was Boris right, this is Talk Radio, was Boris right to say Theresa May has wrapped a suicide vest around the British Constitution and handed the detonator to Brussels? 10 comments. Daniels Ogilvy says, yes, he was right. Lisa Marshall says, Boris for Prime Minister. Daphne McCowan says, yes! Timothy West says, Boris for PM. Paul Bradley says, yes, Boris is right. May has sold out the UK to her EU paymasters. And James says, Boris is a deekhead. So, most of those people saying, yeah, Boris is right to say that. That language is now acceptable. That's the one. This is the genie out of the bottle, right? That genie's out. That language is acceptable. It's now acceptable to make throwaway comments about suicide bombers and suicide vests. That's now acceptable to do that. What's the next thing? Again, isn't it interesting as well? Both of Boris Johnson. Stop calling him Boris, because that is all part of the cuddlification of the absolute arse of a man. Boris Johnson, the MP for Uxbridge, both of his outrageous comments have been connected to Islam. Both of them. The burqa, worn predominantly by Islamic women, and suicide vests, something that we associate with Islamic extremists. Isn't that interesting? Both of them connected with Islam. This is it, man. We're doomed. We are doomed as a society. 0344 499 1000. Kath found a really good story. Have you got the story in front of you?
I have,
Do it. This is great. This is great. I'm so looking forward to this.
Okay,
here's the
title.
Go on.
Bereaved woman who believes mum was reincarnated as a robin, backed up by expert who used to be an alien.
I mean, that's a headline. That is a headline.
This is in the Daily
Mirror.
Mirror.
It's a great story. Go on.
Wendy Fry has acted on the advice given by the robin, and Nicholas Ojula used to be a man, a woman, a transgender, a cheetah and a falcon.
Sorry?
Yes.
OK.
A bereaved woman believes her mum was reincarnated as a robin and communicates to her telepathically. Wendy Fry has even acted on the advice given by the robin, who's visited her on 3 occasions. There was some scepticism online, but she was backed up by reincarnation expert Nicholas Ojula. Nicholas said he discovered his various reincarnations at the age of 17, which include a man, a woman, a transgender. I mean, are we saying transgender man or woman?
No, well, transgender is we say separately now.
A cheetah, a falcon, or even an alien.
Yeah. This is an incredible story, and I'm absolutely thrilled to say we've got Nicholas Ojula on the line now. Good evening, Nicholas.
Good evening. It's lovely to speak to you guys.
Hey, listen, I'm so thrilled to speak to you, and we're going to plug your website. We're going to do all of that stuff. I promise you. So, guys, if you're listening at home, get a pen and paper or get your phones and computers at the ready. Now, Nicholas, first of all, tell me about past lives. When did you, in this life, I guess, get into it, and how did you kind of, I don't know how to phrase a question here. How did you first get involved in past lives?
Well, it all started when I was kind of 17. I was studying for my A-levels. I'd kind of had this really kind of conventional life, and then one evening kind of fell into this trance state, kind of learning meditation, and I just had these vivid flashbacks, and, I remembered the life of a man, a woman, a transgendered soldier, and being in another part of the universe, being an animal, and it was just this instant realization, this inner feeling that these flashbacks were me, but it was the same soul, but I'd been in different places, had different experiences in different bodies.
Wow,
that's really, it was just kind of an instant realization, and a lot of. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, Nicholas. Honestly, I find this fascinating. So, did you suddenly got awareness of all these existences at the same time? Did you? Yes, it was kind of. It's like going to a cinema. Really, it was all in my mind. I could just see these various little flashbacks. It was just this instant knowing, and over the years I have done further kind of self-hypnosis and regression work on myself to get further information. Yeah. But that's kind of where it all kind of began for me. And the next day I left my conventional education, so to speak, and I trained as a regression therapist, and I spent the past 13 years, researching various kind of reincarnation cases as well. Hang on, so what, you were 17, and what, were you at college or sixth form or something? I was sixth form, so I was studying for my A-levels. I remember economics the next day, and I remember sitting there and thinking, mate, do you know what? There's more to this universe, there's more to this life than economics. So I walked out and never came back, much to my mother's dismay. I was going to say, what did your mum say? She must have been furious. You're doing what? You're giving up economics to do what, Nicholas? So at that time, but you know what? I'm one of those people that's quite stubborn. If I made my mind about something, that's it. So yeah, that was it was definitely a chapter, a new chapter in my life. Where did you go to learn? You get the yellow pages and go, right, past life. How did you find a teacher or someone to help you? Well, I actually trained as a hypnotherapist because actually, when I help people to access these past life memories, we are using hypnosis, we're using an altered state of consciousness. Yeah. So, my first state was to train as a kind of hypnotherapist, and it all kind of began from there, from working with people, and it kind of, word of mouth, and it grew over a period of time to the extent that, I started using it in a therapeutic way. These days people may come with fears and phobias, or they might come with relationship blocks, or even chronic health issues, and, often people can remember these as being imprints and experiences from a past life, because if we believe we lived before, surely you can understand that the experiences of the past will somehow affect you today, especially when your childhood or recent years can't explain where these patterns come from. Yeah. I know it's on your website that and you just kind of hinted at it there. That so if I had like a physical illness now, it might be connected to what, like the past life or any previous life. How does that work?
Yeah. So, for example, on my website there's this video of a woman who had constant migraines. I've got so many migraine patients over the years, and what they all remember is that they remember in their past life having a head injury or a face injury.
Oh, no.
They try the painkillers, they go to doctor. Doctor says it's all related to stress, but actually reliving the trauma of that head injury seems to relieve the symptoms. Now, skeptics sometimes say, well, they've made this story up, it's all kind of imagination, but, I'm quite a logical person in many respects. If I've met these hundreds of people who all remember being in different times, but they all remember the same issue, it's that head injury, and actually reliving it seems to get rid of these head pain. So there's definitely something there.
Okay. Listen, I used to be a hypnotist years ago. I was like a stage hypnotist. So I would go round to pubs and clubs and make people forget the number 7 and think they were a chicken, and it was all, it was all fun. But I totally buy. I've seen, and I've been hypnotised myself. I have seen the power of hypnosis. And I truly believe that people can be hypnotised. I also know that when I've been hypnotised and when I've hypnotised others, it really taps into an incredible imagination. Even, people that you would think were kind of the dullest, most black and white or grey people, you can very easily access the most amazing imagination from everyone. Yeah. So is there not an argument, Nicholas, that people that are doing past life regression, they're generally there because they believe in it, so they want it to work. They also don't want to let you down, and they're tapping into this wonderful imagination. And suddenly, John, suddenly you kind of just make up a wonderful story.
Yeah, you know what? I completely can agree with psychiatrists and psychotherapists. That's the argument. But at the same time, if these metaphors, because, let's say you come along and you think, well, but if somehow it's helped you, if it's helped you overcome a fear or it helps you explain your problem, what is wrong with that? But, over the years, what I've kind of found is especially when we look at these past lives or, we can look into historical data and we can kind of see, there's certain things a person did not know on a conscious level that seems to validate that they've lived previously. And I think if it can be helpful and if you can get someone not using medication or pills, what's the harm in it?
Well, unless those pills are saving their lives, Nicholas, in which case they have to. Tell us about the story in the paper then. So this Wendy Fry, how did you meet Wendy?
Well, our paths kind of crossed, and I was quite fascinated by Wendy, especially in terms of her story. Now, I'm a firm believer that we can reincarnate as man, animal, other parts of the universe. So, I was quite intrigued by her actual story. We could believe that is the reincarnation of her mother, or we could also argue, if you believe in mediumship, that her mother was somehow communicating via the robin to her to give her a message, because she clearly could hear her mother's voice. But, she found great comfort from this experience that she had with the robin itself. So it could be the reincarnation of her mother, or her mother could be communicating from the other side, which I guess for a lot of people out there, both ways of looking at it might be a bit out there, but that's kind of the way my perspective on it.
Kath, what do you reckon to all of this? Because, when I was younger, I believed all of this. Then I became very, very cynical in my mid-20s. And now as I get older, Nicholas, I'm opening up my third eye a bit more, and I'm a bit more open. Kathy, you
I don't really buy it, but I know my in-laws, because we lost my mother-in-law too early a couple of years ago, and I know that my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law's sister, my husband's auntie, really do hold with this, and they actually think that there's a robin involved as well. So when they see a robin, they feel like they're being contacted. It's a little hello, and you know what? If it brightens their day, and I know it does, and it makes them feel connected, then I'm not going to dissuade them of it. I don't know really, but it's not something I believe in.
There's so much that we can't always explain. It's like how I say it's like love. We experience and we know love's real, but you can't weigh love. You can't put love under a microscope. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
It depends what manifestation of love we're talking about.
Oh, my God, really?
Nicholas, some gentlemen have to have their love studied very intently to see if they're able to make little babies out of love. That's, you know. Do you ever get... Because the cliche, isn't it? When someone does a past life regression, they're always Anne Boleyn, or, you know...
They're not.
No, well, this is it. Have you ever had anyone who was someone famous?
You know, there's been a few, but generally most people remember very kind of ordinary lives, but with very extraordinary stories. That's what I like to say. Ordinary lives, but very extraordinary experiences. But for me, as kind of a therapist and a practitioner, how can we use that to help you now? It's not all about curiosity or for entertainment, but, you know, I really use it as a way to empower people, to give them answers, to help them feel better about themselves, to create change within themselves now. You know, everything is a continuation, but how can we tap into that to improve your life now?
Nicholas, I really appreciate your time. The website, have I got this right, is inspired-artisan.com. Is that the right one?
That's correct. Otherwise, it's knowyourpastlife.com.
Brilliant. Hey, listen, man, it's so nice to talk to you, and maybe we'll get you on another time. I really appreciate your time. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Nicholas.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye-bye. What a nice guy. I like him. I like all of that stuff. It's comforting, you know. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with that man, Iain Lee. There's no strangers here, just friends you haven't stalked on Facebook yet.
Have never sent my picture to anyone who didn't request it.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Yes.
Give us a call, Amanda. Give us a call. Give us a call. 0344 499 1000. Just sing your tweets. Give us a call, Amanda. It'd be lovely to have a chat with you on air. Give us a call. I'd love to hear your reasoning behind what you've just tweeted. So why don't you pick up the phone, 0344 499 1000. Why don't you give us a call? Oh, you won't, because you're a cowardly online troll, a bully who leads a very unspiritual life, a nasty piece of work. I feel physically threatened by you. I feel scared of you. I shouldn't be telling this because you trolls, you bullies, you unspiritual arses get a buzz from this, but I feel unsafe knowing that you are in this world. When I came to Glasgow, I loved every second of it, but there was a real hesitation in me to go because you make me feel physically unsafe, because you are unwell and have crossed a line. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call and explain your vile, disgusting, shaming, trolling, bullying tweets. You won't, because you're a coward. You won't do it. But here's the thing, right? As someone who has experienced bullying, as someone who has bullied when I was younger and feel incredible shame for it, as someone who sees... Take that call, Sam, pick it up, put it straight on. Just put her straight through.
Hello, good evening.
Explain yourself, you vile, disgusting human being.
Does it make you feel good saying that?
No, it doesn't. You physically scare me. You scare me because you are unstable.
I am stating exactly what you have said.
Why are you tweeting my ex-wife about my kids? Why are you doing that? What's that got to do with you? What's that got to do with you?
I haven't stated any falsehood.
Why are you tweeting my ex-wife about my kids, you weirdo?
You're also lying to say that I've threatened you. I have never threatened you.
No, I didn't say you threatened me. I said I feel threatened because of you. Big difference. Why are you tweeting
my... threatening you.
Why am I...
intimidating.
Why are you tweeting my ex-wife about my kids? Do you not think that's weird? Do you not think that's weird?
I think it's disgusting that you... last week got offended with Sarah because she was saying that you need to put your children first. Then tonight you tell us that you watched movies.
Yes, I watched
had a
Skyscraper.
Sunday roast and a car boots. Your children
I watched
can't be
Skyscraper.
part of that.
No, the Skyscraper is too mature for them. They would have been scared.
Oh, no, they can't watch a movie in the room or do something else in the bedroom or watch an adult movie?
They can't watch... No, Iain, I don't watch...
You're a horrible man. You're a horrible,
Here we go. And yet you listen
man.
every night. You tweet me every night. Can I just ask you, why do you think it's acceptable to tweet my ex-wife about my kids?
Why?
No. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Why do you think you're always right?
Answer the question.
Answer, and also, do you
Amanda.
Ever actually apologise?
Amanda, answer the question. Why do you think
Why
it's acceptable?
Why do you think you're always right?
I'll answer that in a minute if you answer my question, which I asked first.
Why do you think you're always right? You answer that.
I'll answer
I'm going now. Bye-bye. Bye.
You carry on tweeting. What a weirdo. Genuinely, I feel threatened by her. She called me a Nazi in a tweet. Told me I should have worked harder at my marriage. Is now tweeting my wife. My wife knows exactly what I was doing. What? My kids don't come first? My kids don't come first? That's why I had a meeting in Edgware today and then had to leave early and dash over to pick up my kids from school, and it was a joy to do it.
She's not interested in the truth. She wants to score points. And she listens more intently than anyone else I know.
She does. She terrifies me, honestly. I'll tell you why, and it's not she hasn't physically threatened me. You don't need to be physically threatened to be made to feel uncomfortable and to feel terrified. She scares me because she is swinging out for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe she fancies me. I know she disagrees with my views on the 12 steps. But she's very, very angry. You see, they're unfocused. Wasn't prepared to answer. I'd have answered her question if she'd have answered mine, which I asked first. Thank you for the hand, by the way. It's appreciated. And then when the conversation wasn't going, do I apologise? I apologise all the time. I apologise all the time when I'm wrong. Of course I apologise. I spoke to... who was it I was speaking to the other day? I was speaking to the bank on the phone last Friday. And they told me I couldn't do something online and I had to go into a branch, and I lost my temper a little bit. And then the gentleman put me on hold and he came back and he said, I said, before you tell me what you say, I just want to apologise for the way I spoke to you. That was out of order. I'm just really frustrated. This has been going on for a long time. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that, and I'm really, really sorry, and you handled it with dignity. And so I apologise all the time. The point to get to is where I don't have to apologise because I haven't done anything wrong. So, Amanda, Jamboni, don't judge me by your standards. My wife will do what I know she'll do. She'll just block you. She'll say, she gets from time to time, I get a text from her saying, I've just had a very weird-sounding person tweeting me or emailing me about you. I've ignored it. I said, yeah, just block and move on. Why would you do that? What strange person. Strange person. I never said she threatened me. I said I feel threatened. I feel threatened.
Well,
I feel
she did
scared.
suggest that she'd sneaked into our show and sneaked out during the break and then sneaked back in again.
Yeah.
We know that's clearly bullshine.
But also she did.
But why would you do that?
You're happy to steal from my kids? Because the money I make from that show, all... after buying the new digital recorder, nothing... But the £100 me and Kath were going to take each, well, guess what? That goes towards my mortgage, towards our kids' food. There's no money we get from the rabbit hole. It doesn't go on cigars and Lamborghinis. That goes into our earnings.
You're giving it too much headspace.
Well, I know I am, but tweeting my ex-wife?
That's absolutely crackers.
Isn't it? That's weird.
And also, not that I want to get into the tit for tat, but if anyone's determined to be right... I think we know who it is.
Yeah.
Who's keeping score?
Listens to the show all the time, is abusive. Didn't say she threatened me. I said I feel threatened, and I do, and I feel scared. And if it keeps up, I'm screenshotting all of these, and if it keeps up, I'm going to go to the police because I don't have to take this kind of abuse. I don't have to have someone telling my ex-wife what I did this weekend when they know what I did. I don't have to have you making judgment calls on whether my kids are important or not. You've got no idea. You've got your grandkids are in South Africa. You go and visit them. Do you know? Incredible.
It's the assumption that she knows more about your business than your ex does.
Amanda, I wish you peace, and I wish you luck, and I wish you success, and I just wish you piss off.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
03444991000 and a couple of texts from Sam. Sam says, sigh, Kathleen getting the Serena topical wrong. Not morally correct to selectively choose facts from the incident to promote a needless pro-woman agenda in this case. And then also, after the, talking about, I don't know, well, this came in at 7 minutes past 11, so I guess, talking about Boris, going to mention anti-Semitism in the Labour Party? Thought not. No, because that's got nothing to do. What's that got to do with me saying your government are all jerking each other off? They're two separate issues. It's not because I'm covering up anti-Semitism in the Labour Party. There is anti-Semitism in the Labour Party. It's awful. But it's not what we're talking about.
Give us a call, Sam. We're not pen pals. 03444991000.
I asked Sam to call Sam back. Was there an answer, or did it just go straight to voicemail?
Oh, yeah,
straight to voicemail. There you go, you see. We got a lot of calls. Let's get through some of these calls. Let's go to Nigel. Good evening, Nigel. You're what we need.
Oh, good evening, Ian.
You're what we need, Nigel.
Why?
We need cheering up.
I'm not going to cheer you up. I rang up about my funeral, didn't I?
Your funeral?
Mum's funeral I went to today.
Oh, mate.
You knew it was on, didn't you? Because I told you.
Yeah, I must admit, it slipped me today because I've been very, very busy. What happened? Talk to me about it.
Oh, God. Well, I got up extra early, about 11, and it was on at 1:30. So I went for a bike ride first, and I went back to the cemetery, and they didn't turn up then. So I went off for another ride. Then I came back and then waited. They took ages to come. They were a bit late coming, I think. And they were walking with the hearse and a man walking in front of the hearse.
Yeah, old-fashioned.
Yeah, old-fashioned, mate. Stopping all the traffic. With you could see my mum's coffin in the back of the hearse.
Yeah.
And it was pretty frightening, to be honest. I was really frightened, and I didn't want to. I kept saying to people, I want to go home. I was really distressed. Sorry.
I bet.
I was so distressed, Ian. I could hardly stand there. My legs went weak. My legs felt weak, and so I decided to stay. And there was a small service, about 20-minute service. And they lowered the coffin into the grate. You actually see that, and then you throw some soil on it,
How many people were there?
There was a lot of people supporting me, about 30 people.
Hey, that's not bad, is it?
No.
You were worried there weren't going to be many?
Yes, there were a lot of people supported me, and I sung my I Miss You at the end of the service.
Yes, man.
And everyone said how good my singing was outside, because it wasn't shut in. I sounded a lot better outside. And they said that I'd got a good voice. And the vicar, who's a musician, and a professional jazz musician who goes around the world, he's a bass player.
All right.
And he's got a jazz band on YouTube. But he plays in America and everything, California. And he said, I got a lovely voice, he said, the vicar. Because I do sing that I Miss You quite high, don't I? I Miss You.
Yeah, you sing it very well.
I sing it pretty well, don't I? And I wish you could have been there, because it was the best I've ever sung it. But then I cried into a lady's arms at the end, and could not stop. I could not stop crying,
Oh, mate.
And then I had to ride home 10 miles to go home and get some shopping on the way home. But I never want to go through that again.
Well, you won't have to. You won't have to go through burying your mum again. That's that one done, and it's.
And my dad's gone as well.
Yeah.
But he was buried on top of her. He was 12 feet down, and she went on top.
Well.
So it was all worked out.
Nice.
But anyway, so it was quite a busy thing, really. It took a lot of trouble. There were loads of flowers. They came with the service, with the car, the flowers. And I actually, before they took the coffin out of the hearse, I put my hand on top of the coffin and spoke to Mum and said, I love you very much, Mum, and God bless you. In the name of Jesus, we pray, a little prayer, touching the coffin. That was pretty hard to do, because I knew she was laying in there,
Yeah.
It was the most difficult thing I've ever gone through.
I'm really sorry, mate.
Yeah,
you got through it.
I really thought I couldn't stand, and when I came home, I couldn't get off the toilet. As you know, my stomach was going berserk.
Wowzers!
And I had a loose bowel,
Hey!
Sorry, does that upset you?
Yes, that upsets me.
But I'll say it must be because of the shock, you know.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. But I managed to eat. I managed to cook myself sausage and mash later on this evening.
So you got a bit more solid.
Well, I've had something to eat anyway. The main thing's I've had.
Has that come out yet? Do we know what that's like?
No, I'm eating okay now. But it was a shock when I came getting back. You know, it was a shock, really, wasn't it? Of the funeral.
Yeah.
Well, I would think it was, because I'm normally okay, so I'm normally a fit person. So, but it breaks your heart, doesn't it?
Mate,
breaks your heart.
It does, and you've done it.
I'm trying to get back to normal. That's why I rang you.
So what's happening? Was there a wake afterwards? A little do?
No, we didn't have anything afterwards. I didn't arrange anything, but we could always do something later on in a hot village hall or something.
Yeah, and you went home on your own?
Yeah, yes, I went home on my own. The others went because I had to go shopping afterwards to get some bits and pieces. Yeah.
And you're home on your own now?
Oh no, I had a puncture, and then I had to go and get a new inner tube put in, and it cost me £16.
Oh no!
Yeah, because the thorn they were cutting the hedges through the lanes, and a thorn went into my tyre, so that wasn't very good. No, so I'd rather finish my day off. Yeah.
Man alive, you've had a rum old day.
It was £16 just to put an inner tube in, but I couldn't do it because I didn't feel well enough to take the wheel to bed.
Nah, well.
But so it was worth it though, wasn't it, getting it done?
Of course it was. So what's tomorrow, Nigel? What are you doing tomorrow?
Well, I'm hoping to just go out normally, try and go out as normally as I can. You know, shopping, obviously, I have to go
And what's the situation with where you're living at the moment?
That's fine. I was a lady coming on Thursday to help me get my benefit put up because I haven't got so much money because Mum's money's been stopped, you know.
Yeah.
Just for now, because I'm under the doctor. I'm getting sick benefit at the moment because of the tablets I'm on. It'll work out all right, don't worry. And they're allowing me to stay in my house and pay the rent, normally, so it should be all right.
Mate, I'm sorry.
I haven't got any worries, just loneliness, really. Loneliness.
Do you go to any, groups, or...?
Well, there are some... The vicar's coming to see me one evening, and he wants to look at all my photos of me, Mum and me.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, and he may be able to get me a drumming job because he's in a band, and he goes to America, as I say, so he might be able to get me... he might even give me a singing job. He thought my singing was quite good.
Hey, there you go, mate. Hey, listen, well done for getting through it. Your mum would be very proud of you.
I'm glad I sung the song. I had to carry that on my back, the karaoke machine in my haversack.
Sorry?
The karaoke machine went into my haversack.
You took the karaoke machine to the funeral? I thought you did it Acapulco.
No. I was singing to Miley Cyrus.
It wasn't Carrick Fergus, was it?
No, I did. I Miss You. I Miss You.
Well, that's a lovely song to sing. We like that.
It was marvellous. I really enjoyed singing that song at the end. Then I burst into tears with emotion with this lady that put her arms around me.
I bet you did.
They said I had a wonderful voice, and I didn't think I was that good, but they all thought. I was watching Kylie last night, and she was miming for the beginning of the show.
Outrageous.
Yeah, she didn't mime with Jason Donovan. Could hardly put two words together.
What was this then? What was this?
Well, she got Jason Donovan back on the show with her last night.
Yeah.
Hang on, Nigel.
Do you know the story about this?
Go on. Don't ask any questions. Just speak.
She gave him a ring an hour before, and he got on his bike, his push bike, and rode to Hyde Park.
Well, that's good.
That's a bit shitty.
But he didn't do very much on stage.
That's a bit mean.
He wasn't supposed to be doing anything at all.
Well, an hour before she did it.
He came and did the dance breaking especially for you.
She's had 30 years to get in touch, and she does it an hour before.
He's sitting there waiting with his bike.
But I was very surprised.
Hello, Jason. Hello.
Everything.
Shut up, Nigel. I'm doing a bit. Hello, is that?
Kylie. Hello, Jason.
Yeah, it's Jason Donovan speaking. Who is this, please?
It's Kylie Minogue.
Get stuffed. Puts the phone down.
Ring again.
Ring. Hello.
Hello, Jason. It's me.
Be quiet, Nigel. We're doing a thing.
All right, I know.
Hello, Jason.
Listen, if this is Dobbo or Bendo or Nobber or Jackoff calling, you can kiss it.
No, it's actually Kylie Minogue, and I'm really sorry for dumping you, but you were going a little bit bald.
What the sweet Jesus shit? What the Kylie? Is it you?
Yeah.
Really?
And I need you to come on and spin me round, especially for you. Not singing or anything, just the dance break.
Anytime. When?
Half an hour?
What the... You're joking! Where are you, girl?
Hyde Park.
It's just down the road. I think if I get my pusho out, I can ride down there and I can get there in time.
Fair dinkum, that'd be bonza.
All right, you flaming galah. Thing is, I got a flatto in me pusho, so I got to find me pumpo and get the taro uppo.
Enough chops in, Jason Donovan. Get on your bike and ride.
I'm coming on my skato. See you later. So he didn't sing with her?
No, he just spun around.
Oh, that's
a good impression.
Thanks.
Great impression.
That's really mean of her. I hate her. What a cow. That is mean. So she tells him an hour before. Hang on, we're still doing the thing.
Yeah.
She calls him an hour before, and then doesn't even let him sit. Can I bring the kids? No.
Only if you can balance them on your trick nuts.
You never mention my trick nuts again, Kylie. You know I'm ashamed of them. I got them. My dad had trick nuts. Terence Donovan, my dad. You know he was my dad in real life. Terence Donovan, my dad. And my trick nuts, that's the Donovan family shame, and I've learned to accept my trick nuts. Can I ask you a question, Kylie?
Sure.
Can I touch your boobies again, like the old days, the 80s?
Well, if it slips while we're dancing, who's gonna know?
I'm gonna be there in 20 minutes. There you go, Nigel.
And scene.
She was touching her bum on stage.
I bet she was.
Yeah, well, maybe it was itchy.
Turning around and putting a hand on her bum.
It helps her stay in tune.
She's got quite a big bum for her size, really.
No,
I reckon.
There's nothing to her.
Isn't there? Oh, he looked big on stage.
Oh.
He looked big on stage.
Yeah. Well,
so
listen.
I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed her singing, but she mimed at the beginning. When she stopped singing, she was still singing, she was singing to her own backing track.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah, and it was her new album as well. But never mind.
All right, Nigel. Well, listen, I'm glad you're okay, mate.
Well, I'm okay. I'm not really okay, but I'm trying to be.
You'll get there. Try and get your head down.
Especially for you.
Okay, thanks for calling. There we go. Thanks for calling. Wow. 0344. So his mum was lower down on his dad. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, we just watched the footage of Jason Donovan on stage with Kylie, and he's right, he comes on just to dance, and then he sort of grabs the mic. He doesn't got a microphone, she has. He grabs the microphone and sings his line, and then she kind of snatches it back. And then it gets to the bit where they're both singing together, and he's still singing, but she's got the microphone in her mouth and won't let him sing.
Oh, I'm Team Jason.
I'm always Team Jason. I remember having an argument in the sixth form common with someone going, no, Jason Donovan, he is. You watch, in 20 years' time, he'll still be making records. We won't even know who Kylie is. Pick a line between 1 and 6, not 4, that's gone.
3.
Let's go to Eben.
Hi, Ian.
Hey, Eben.
Hi. A lot happened before I talked to you last.
Go on, before you spoke to us last.
Whenever I phoned in last.
Since you spoke to us last?
Yeah, well, whatever.
Because that would be weird if you'd called in to tell us about the things that happened before the last time you spoke to us.
Time traveller.
Time traveller.
I'm confused about this week.
Yeah.
I've moved down to my dad's house and into student halls.
Oh, say that again, Eben, because your phone line is rubbish.
I've moved down to my dad's house and I'm in student halls.
Yes, man! I hope you got enough Rizzlers to make you look cool.
Yeah. And it's all quite daunting, everything I need to do.
It's wanton?
Daunting.
I think it's wanted. It is. I remember getting dropped off at halls and thinking, yeah, this is it. And then thinking, oh, my God, I don't know anybody. Awful.
I'll just go and sit in my room for a bit.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And it didn't really help because they put on activities. It was a movie night tonight with a bunch of people.
What were they showing? Skyscraper?
No, there's The Orphan.
Oh, The Orphan. Oh, that's a good film, mate.
And I can't get to sleep now.
Ah,
Are you scared? You're scared of the orphan?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, mate. Well, how does it feel, though? Is it exciting?
Yeah, really exciting.
Yeah.
Taking the times past, doing a lot of work this week before I start my course.
Nah, don't worry about it. The work before the course starts doesn't count.
Also, the first year doesn't really count.
No.
Does it really?
Enjoy
Just getting
yourself.
you used to it.
And get some of those beer tokens. Find out the boozers. Find out who the man is. If that's your vibe, find out who the man is who's holding. Find out where to go. Find out where to go for the good times.
I was in a flat party on Saturday.
Oh, that's a shame. I like to go to the more upbeat ones, but they can't all be winners. Hello?
Hello?
You'll be okay.
I went to a party once where I ended up with trifle in my hair for 3 days.
It wasn't trifle.
Well, it had sprinkles on.
They weren't sprinkles. Don't know what that means. Eben, listen, it's good to talk to you, man. Hang in there, buddy. You got this one. Give us a call later in the week. Let us know how it goes. Between 1 and 6, not 3 or 4.
2.
Evening, Angela.
Hi, Ian and Catherine. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you, our little psychic lady of love?
I'm a bit upset. You know the video I did earlier on?
Yeah. You did live tarot reading.
It deleted itself by mistake.
Oh, there are no mistakes, Angela, when it comes to the other side.
Well, it deleted. I know that you were illegally streaming a football match. You were watching. This was the weekend. You were watching Sky, and then it popped up on my thing. Ding! Angela's Psychic Paranormals is doing a live stream. I thought, I sat by the computer. I'll have some of that. So I turned it on, and it was you streaming Sky, which is illegal. Hello? She's gone!
Been deleted.
Let's go to Billy. Good evening, Billy.
Hello.
Hello, Billy.
Hello, Ian. You all right?
I'm good, thank you, mate.
Yeah, I'm just calling in to see how Nigel got on. Really?
Did you listen?
Not particularly. I was in the toilet.
Oh,
hang on a minute. This is the second time you phoned in shortly after Nigel's been on to find out how Nigel's going.
No,
so you're obviously not that bothered. Listen to the podcast.
Oh, I'm not putting it in that.
No, all right. Go back to the listen again feature.
Oh, I will do.
Which is really easy to navigate.
I mean, it's not. It's not.
It's not.
The app.
The app.
It's not been uploaded since May.
No, it what? The podcasts?
Yeah, on the Talk Radio app hasn't been updated since May.
Hang on a minute. What's this guy? What's this guy? Is this guy for real? Is this guy real or is he a joker? I think he might be a joker. Let me have a little look. Talk Radio, podcasts. Oh, right. Let's choose from Jake Yapp's Sunday Best.
Oh, blimey.
The Motor Show with Andy J. The Real Radio Hustle. The Yasmin Khan Show. Let's go to the Late Night Alternative with Ian Lee. Look at there's a podcast section there. Let's see. This guy's talking out of his a-hole. Okay. Here we go. This is the latest one is Thursday, May the 31st.
Wow. I don't know why I bother.
Well, you can get them on other. Shut your face. You can get them on other podcast providers. You can go to iTunes or Acast or you can Kiss My Arse. You can go loads of places.
He's gone.
No, he's still there. Have you gone? Right, he's gone now.
What the hell is happening tonight?
Let's go to G. Good evening, G.
Evening, boss. Good evening, boss.
Are you on speakerphone?
No, I'm in the bathroom.
Oh, God, I don't want to know why.
Okay, away you go.
Easy, Tiger.
Steady.
I just wanted to say, without dwelling on it, that there are certain people that are really vile to you.
Yeah. You're speaking about Catherine. If you're speaking about Catherine,
justified.
Then it's not justified, but you are ancient.
Wow, you're a moo-moo.
I don't live in an ice cream van.
I watched a great channel at the weekend called Keep It Country TV. Right? They played some great stuff and some not so great stuff, if I'm honest. But the first show we watched was hosted by an Italian woman
who they obviously couldn't afford auto cue, which is the thing where it puts the words in front of the camera. So you're the camera, Kath. So someone was obviously holding boards there. So she was doing the whole thing. So the next artist coming up is big hit, and here's a little package about Tanya Tucker. And they had a package about Tanya Tucker. She was
looking to one side.
Yeah, she was looking to one side. But it was a great channel.
That's like Evan Davis. He does that as well, doesn't he?
Who's Tanya Tucker?
Oh, gee! Tanya Tucker. She's, well, I nearly swore then.
Nearly swore then, didn't you?
She is a country and western star, and in 1981, when Glenn Campbell was about 43, and she was 21, she went out with Mr. Glenn Campbell. She was the bad girl of country rock. And if you see any footage,
Tanya Tucker.
If you see any footage of Tanya Tucker and Glenn Campbell singing together, you can be sure that there is several grams of cocaine up all four nostrils.
Is she the one with the big bahoobies?
She's got a great voice. You're absolutely correct. Yes.
I thought so.
Yes.
I actually rang in to sing.
Go on then.
Now you put me on the spot, and I don't want to.
Okay, thanks
you
for calling.
put yourself on the spot.
Let's go to Alistair. Good evening, Alistair.
Hi Ian, hi Kath.
How you doing?
I'm doing a lot better at the moment.
Okay, what have you got for us?
Anyway, I was going to ring you to agree with your analysis of Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
And his outrageous plans to take over things. And I think it's very sad the way politics is going at the moment. But I wanted to ask as well, what are trick nuts?
If you don't know what trick nuts are, then you're a very, very lucky man.
I chafed the inside of my calves quite badly riding someone trick nuts. My first boyfriend, Neil, used to have a BMX, and on the back wheel, where the wheel meets the frame of the bike...
The perineum of the bike.
No, nothing to do with perineum.
The taint.
They had, like, a sort of bar that would go almost as if it was going through the wheel, and you could stand on it either side and do tricks. You know, like people used to jump on bikes, like jump up and down while holding the bikes and all that business. Well, that's what I used to stand on when he was transporting me around as his groovy BMX chick.
That was brilliant.
And if you relax too much, you don't half scratch the inside of your legs.
I see. Right, that's brilliant. But another great show, guys.
Thank you very much indeed, and it's appreciated, and another great buzzkill. 0344
Oh my God.
499 1000. Did we do the adverts? We did do the adverts. You nearly said no then, Sam. You nearly said no. Here's who I really want to kill.
All right.
People with personalised number plates.
Oh, yeah.
Why does anybody... Right, the only cool personalised number plate I've ever seen was Paul Daniels' Magic. Yeah, Magic as a number plate. I think he did. But was any of them... None of them were numbers, were they? Paul Daniels' number plate. Let's have a little look. Yeah, it just says Magic. Got to respect that. That was good. No, that was
cool. Is that
legal,
though?
Yeah, no. Paul Daniels...
Was the I and a 1?
No, it's personalised.
Yeah.
It's Sorry, I don't think you know what personalised...
Well, I don't think a lot of people do. Sometimes I'm trying to work out who's in the car from the stupid number plate. Well, you're kidding yourself.
This is the thing, right? The personalised number plates, apart from Magic, we'll put that to one side. That's safe. That's you're taking that home. But people with personalised number plates make me want to vomit because they just think, right, well, you spent sometimes £25,000-30,000 on a number plate.
And it's purely about showing off.
But shall I tell you who's worse than the people with the personalised number plates?
People that write "powered by fairy dust" or put eyelashes on their cars.
I think that's quite cute. People that have number plates that almost say a word. You know the ones that almost say a word. If you take a 5 as an S and a 4 as an A,
or they've got a black screw in the middle to try and
make it
up the
an
numbers.
H. To make it an H, two ones or 2 I's an H, and it will say something like I saw one that's something like big. It was like supposed to say like Big Boss. I worked out, but it was something like B168OSS. It was something like, or 8055, something like that.
Wow.
And it was supposed to be Big Boss
I saw...
Also, are you 5? It's the sort of thing I'd do on a box for my kids.
What is the... I remember someone, when we were at Three Counties, 3CR, right? Remember Jan, the guard at 3CR. No one got past Jan. I was talking to her, and she got an email from someone saying, "Hello, I have the number plate," and it wasn't a special number plate. It was like TC64 3CR.
Right.
So it's just a normal number plate, but it had 3CR at the end. He said, "I have this number plate, and I would be prepared to sell it to BBC Three Counties Radio for £5,000.
Because that's the sort of stuff the BBC should be spending money on.
£5,000. And then I think he had a list of other companies that had like 3CR in there now, and he's trying to say, fair good, well played to him, but no one's going to buy it. I hate these people. They make me imagine if I now said, all right, just imagine if I now said, you know, the people that have these cars with number plates, it's like they're metaphorically wearing a suicide vest and they're driving around just waiting to explode at any moment. Imagine if I said that, right? The Ferrari, the righteous Ferrari that would be... He compared something to wearing a suicide? What the hell is that? Complaints that would be upheld by Ofcom? The rollicking I'd get from Denny? But Boris Johnson can say it, and yeah, sure.
That's just Boris.
It's just Boris being Boris. And people who listen to this radio station in the morning and go on this radio station's Facebook page want that man to be Prime Minister. That's what's so terrifying. That is what is terrifying. I enjoyed that hour. We've got another hour of this nonsense to go before Paul Ross comes on at 1 o'clock. Switchboard is empty for the first time tonight, so give us a call. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle every weeknight from 10 on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Sitting by the fire when the weather gets cold, don't care. Down around the farm, and another little drink won't do us any harm. Hard times made a little moonshine, never done that in my life before. Kept up with the news in the wintertime, sitting on a barrel in the country store. Hey boys, I think I'm getting old, sitting by the fire when the weather gets cold, don't care. Down around the farm, and another little drink won't do us any harm. Rear back, talk about your politics, fight about religion, and worry about war. I'll sit spitting in the fireplace and pour a little cider when your throat gets sore. Hey boys, I think I'm getting old, sitting by the fire when the weather gets cold, don't care. Down around the farm, and another little taste won't do us any harm. I think I'm getting old.
It's only the Dillards. Dillards? Dillards. The Dillards. There we go. There we go. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. The switchboard is empty, dear listener, so now is a great time I say a great time to give us a call, if you'd like to. I'm starting to perk up a little bit. I tell you what, I know I whinge on Twitter. I've got to hate Twitter. I tried to... Let me try and get these thoughts into some kind of order. So before I went to New York, I bought what's called a dumb phone. It's a Nokia 105 or 150 or 501 or something. And it's kind of like the rage at the moment is to get dumb phones. That all they can do is make phone calls and send and receive texts and play Snake. And that's it. There's no internet, there's no emails, there's nothing, right? And I was thinking, I'd really like to... Because I've got Twitter and Facebook blocked from my phone. And I was thinking, well, I wonder what it would be like if I had a phone that didn't have emails and didn't have the internet. What would that be like? And I check my emails in the morning and check them when I get into work, and that's it, right? That would be it. So I got this dumb phone, and I've got an iPhone, and when I tried to set it up a week or so ago, you needed an adapter for the iPhone SIM card. Thank you very much, Catherine Boyle. That's okay. Just on the air. Thank you. That's how you produce. Someone very kindly told me what adapter I needed so that the SIM card would fit, and I was there today, and I thought, well, I'm going to set this up. I'm going to give this a go. I'm so thirsty. And so I got the SIM card of my iPhone out, and I managed to put it into this adapter, and I put it into this dumb phone, and I switched it on, or whatever it does. And here's the rub. I'm going to get technical with you guys. I hope you don't mind. I know you can handle this. You're an intelligent bunch, and 6 minutes past 12 on a Monday night. What you want to hear about is SIM cards. SIM card Monday. So, what happens with the iPhone is, it doesn't, like the olden days, in the olden days, the telephone would store your phone numbers on your SIM card. The iPhone doesn't do that. The iPhone does not store your phone numbers on the SIM card. So, you take the SIM card from the iPhone, you put it in the dumb phone, and it's got no numbers on. I'm thinking, well, this can't be right. This is inaccurate. So I then spend like an hour Googling how do I get the phone numbers from the iPhone to the dumb phone, the Nokia 105. And what I found out after just over an hour of Googling and then asking you guys on Twitter, what I found out is you can't. There's no way of doing it. You can't get the phone numbers from the iPhone onto either the SIM card or into the Nokia unless, you type them all in yourself. Nah, it's never going to happen. So I can't get the phone numbers from my iPhone onto the dumb phone.
We'll just put the important ones in.
No, because you mean you.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I wasted a lot of money on this dumb phone. I spent £14.99 on this, and I now can't use it.
Well, you can.
Unless I become a drug dealer and use it as my drug phone and get a different phone number for my guys. My guys want some brown or some China Wade, a little bit of hash. I don't want to be a drug dealer. So I can't use it. You're saying I can?
Yeah, just put the numbers in that you want in there.
How many
people do you actually like? Stop it. Well, don't ask me then.
Stop it! So annoying. Me. What?
It's so annoying. You didn't copy
You're with me.
You didn't not doing it properly. Seriously annoying.
You're annoying me now.
Please stop
it.
Right.
That's it. Right, I'm out. I'm out of it.
You're not out.
You're not out.
Get
Get back in. Get back in. Right, stop it. No.
You're so
annoying.
I'm actually going
We're actually going home. Ah!
Thank you for calling Talk Radio. Calls are charged at your provider's national rate. Your call will be answered shortly. Thank you for holding.
Yeah.
What'd you cut me off for?
Because it's tedious. Get back in there and do your job. And stop annoying me. And leave my biscuits alone.
Those aren't biscuits. Right. What I'm saying is, I can't transfer my phone numbers from my iPhone to my smartphone and to my dumb phone, and now I'm stuck with it, and I don't want it. Technology, right? Technology. It's annoying. And Twitter is full of dramas, and really, I keep getting sucked back into it. I keep getting drawn back into it, and it's very addictive. Should we get serious for a minute?
Go on, then.
Okay. I really wanted to take drugs this weekend. I was going to start the show with this, and it didn't seem appropriate. But I haven't had drugs for a while, guys. This weekend, it's really been on me. Not like the obsession. And people... The reason I'm saying this, because we've had a few people phoning in the last week who have been struggling with booze. Well, no, actually, we had a couple of gentlemen struggling with cocaine. But a few people struggling with booze. And people kind of phone me up because I got a bit of clean time, and Iain knows what he's talking about, and he'll point us in the right direction or say something wise. And it just feels a bit hypocritical. Doesn't it feel funny doing something serious after you were saying stuff just before I said it to try and annoy me? Wow. It's just that was what was happening. I hope you may not have got that from the audio, but I was saying stuff, but Kath was saying it just before me. Really rude. She's saying stuff just before I am. But it's weird. Anyway, that's the clunky gear change. So, I was really hoping we could get a whole hour out of that.
Well, I'm glad we didn't. That was driving me nuts. I was almost... and I'm not a violent person, but I could have really hurt you then. I don't want to hurt you.
Can I say something? Mm. Very petulant.
I am.
So I didn't take drugs for a long time. And I've not had drugs for quite a while. And I didn't get to... Meetings kind of slipped a bit. Obviously, couldn't go when I was in New York. Some people take their kids to meetings, but it's something I don't want to do. Doesn't feel comfortable. But a lot of you get... After the last few... I've seen a couple of meetings recently where there's been kids there because it's been summer holidays, and it's really hard. There was years ago when I first got clean, there was this poor woman I think I used to go to college with, or she was a couple of years by me. She used to bring a little boy in, and I quite often to go and sit with her little boy and play with her little boy while the meeting was going on. It's nice, you know, 'cause you've got to think there's single parents, a lot of single mums. It's harder for single mums, I think. Well, single parents, but a lot of single mums would come in with their babies and with their kids, and it's, you know, it's a powerful thing. I love it when there's kids in the meeting because it makes you think about what you say, so you watch your language, and you don't say anything too. It makes you very focused, and also it's the circle of life. You know, that's why a lot of people are doing it, so that their kids, you know, that breaks the cycle. Anyway, so I didn't go to any New York, and then last week it's, you know, excuses, life and stuff, and just and last week, here we go. This is it. So sort of Monday or Tuesday, I felt the dip in the mental health. Just felt everything was a little bit greyer. I'm saying this just in case anyone can identify with it, and it helps me as well. So, you know, there you go. Everything just felt a little bit grey, and I thought, oh man, I'm on the downturn, and you could feel it as the week progressed. Just like I'm so tired today, and it's not because I've done anything; it's just because I'm depressed. So that was going on, and then a couple of days into that, I got the whole stuff with the Scouts. So that kind of knocked me down significantly. Then some divorce stuff happened. I got a letter about that, and that I was on the phone to you when I opened the letter, and I went, "Oh, you never guess what I've got." So it's like the divorce thing. So that knocked me down. And I need to verbalise that my default reaction is to try and make myself feel better. And that is quite often in the past, it's been with sex. It's been with shopping. But I ain't got no money to shop. It's partly what the car boot sale was, because it was like a cheap, bought a load of stuff, but it was only like £8. But it was all for the kids. But buying stuff, as I said to Chris Difford from Squeeze, we both went through a period of having just like loads of packages. This is something this is Mike Nesmith CDs that Glenn has sent me. Did I give you one of these?
No.
Oh, I gave you the record, didn't I? There you go, Mike. Thanks. Mike Nesmith live at the Troubadour CD. And so sex, shopping, eating is a big one for me now. Eating is the one that's really getting me, where I will eat to try and take myself out of myself. But this weekend, it was like, oh, man. I'd say from like Friday last week. Yeah. I'd really love some cocaine. Really love some cocaine. And I wasn't obsessing about it, and it wasn't like I was sat with Simon going, I wish he'd go, man, because I want to think about cocaine. But I just would find myself thinking, it'd be really nice. For example, this isn't, but it'd be really nice if I had a nice bit of cake and I had some cocaine. And, you know, just that cocaine would come into whatever nice little fantasy thought thing I was having. It'd be nice if I was hanging out with a couple more friends and we went out and then we had some cocaine. It would just keep coming in. And on Saturday night was the one. I really struggled I couldn't get to sleep because I was just thinking about cocaine. And I wasn't thinking I'm going to go out and use cocaine. I was just thinking about it. And then I was going, oh man, just stop. Can I just stop thinking? And then it was a lot of me going, just stop thinking about it. Because I don't want to think about it. It's boring. And I don't want to do it. But that's the disease, man. It just kept putting. And Saturday night I was in bed going, can I just stop thinking about cocaine so I can get to sleep? And then I had a dream that I had a load of ecstasy. You know, so there's no escape from it, man. There's no escape from it, man. But I went to a meeting today, and if I don't get to a meeting tomorrow, I'm going to go for a run. And I've got a meeting slotted in for Wednesday. So it's cool, man. It's cool. But I need to just share this stuff that I'm not as perfect. You know, I mean, there may be some people.
Well, it's not as easy as you think it might be.
There we go. It's hard work, man.
Yeah, I take solace as your friend and as someone who saw what happened last time in the fact that you're saying it out loud.
Yeah.
The danger comes when you start keeping it secret.
Yeah, our secrets grow in the shadows. That's a true thing. And I didn't go to a meeting this weekend because I was with Simon. I thought, that's rude. But that was just an excuse, because he would have been cool if I'd said that I'm going to
He would have driven you there and sat outside.
Yeah, I know. And so that's an excuse. So that's kind of a worrying thing. That's the disease, man. It's just like playing games and telling lies and saying,
and we've heard it in people calling this show.
Yeah,
and it's obvious from the outside.
So what I'm saying is, if anybody, and I mean this, if anybody has got any gear...
Oh, stop it.
18... No, I'm joking. I mean, no, not at all. I wouldn't... First of all, I couldn't afford it. That's never stopped me in the past. And jeez, I mean, who wants to masturbate for 36 hours? I mean, that's what it was. God. Anyway, on that bombshell, this is Talk Radio.
Uncut, after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Was that static going out over there? I wasn't meant to. I wasn't meant to. That was me playing static because someone's just sent me a link. I didn't mean to play that all over the ad. Sorry, that must have been hideous for some, arousing for others.
And there'll be some people who could hear voices in it.
So Dan has sent me a website. On this page, you can listen to and control a shortwave receiver located at the Amateur Radio Club, ETGD, at the University of Twente. In contrast to other web controls receivers, this receiver can be tuned by multiple users simultaneously. So basically, I think we can listen... All right, we can listen to stuff. So I'm going to go on to AM, and I'm going to... How do I go through it? That's the squelch. How do I get this to work? Hang on. I don't know how I get this to work then. Come on, guys! How do we get that to work? Dan, tell me. Dan just tweeted it to me.
Dan, help us, Dan.
So, what's that? Is that Zilla?
No, yeah, well, it was a bit, yeah.
Right, so you got to type in stuff. This is fun. This is fun for the kids. Where do I type it in? Chat box.
Oh, blimey, look at that.
200 people are using this at the moment.
Are they all getting that? They're all going, what? How do we make this work?
Please log in by typing your name or call sign. Iain Lee. So I'm Iain Lee. Well, don't work this thing! Crying out loud. Does anybody... Can anybody find me? Station info. Oh, for God's sakes. How do I make this... Chat box. How do I make this bloody thing work? Oh, for crying out loud. How do I make this bloody thing work? I am on the real radio right now.
Oh, they're not going to like that.
Suckers.
Oh.
10. How do I make this thing work? So, can you stop being windy pops?
That's not me. Honestly.
How do I... Right, can someone tell me how this... Ray's telling me there's no dignity in doing drugs.
Next, the Pope is a Catholic.
You should have seen... You've seen what I did sometimes when I was on. There's no dignity. Dignity goes as soon as that first bit goes up there, mate. 10:53 works immediately. But I don't... Just type in frequencies. But where do I type in the frequencies, you absolute loon? Just type it in, all right? Oh, I just typed it in and what...
Oh.
No, I don't think it did. 10:53. That's Talk Sport. 10:53 and 10:89.
On a similar level, which is one of the big complaints for 2 international.
Talk about the internationals. Yeah, football, got to score the goals and then they're going to have sex.
I'm going to start with Italy. They lost to Portugal. That's fine. Roberto Mancini's first 2 games off the game.
Oh.
Well, now what do I do? That's a horrible website. What crappy website to point me to?
Sounds like the very gates of hell.
What crappy website? And the radio thing, you can move... Someone's saying type 198. This is the last thing I'm going to do. Type 198 into the box. Right, I bet it's rubbish. 198, okay.
Calling him a thief and a liar. Those words prompted him to increase the penalty by awarding an entire game to the eventual winner, Naomi Osaka. The New York crowd booed and shouted its disapproval, and after the match, Serena Williams claimed she was fighting for a greater cause than simply her own.
I've seen other men call other umpires several things, and I'm here fighting for women's rights and for women's equality and for all kinds of stuff. And for me to say thief and for him to take a game, it made me feel like it was a sexist remark.
Those claims of sexism have been backed by Steve Simon, the head of the Women's Tennis Association. In a statement, he said there should be...
Right, that website's... Everyone who sent me that website, you are blocked. Because that was a waste of life. It hit the trail.
The wild man of late night radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. Someone says, have you discussed the Katie Price video? What's the Katie Price video?
No.
No, you're not curious?
I don't know about it.
You're not curious?
Not really. It's something different every week. She's got a show on, hasn't she?
No, you're not curious to know what it might be?
Not really.
Could be something. It could be something interesting.
Won't be.
It could be something different, unusual,
but it's not.
Strange. No. As a producer, you're not curious.
Nope.
As a human being,
nope.
You're not, as someone who...
I apply quite a strong filter.
As someone who doesn't have to provide content for the next 30 minutes, but their best mate does, you don't want to think that might, I don't know...
Incredible gesture by 3 pupils who saw a boy crying on the bus after his first day at secondary school.
Has this got Katie Price in?
Nope.
OK, let's... This
11-year-old had got on the wrong bus.
OK,
and was
with Katie Price?
No.
OK.
No. Was getting further and further from his Liverpool home when the trio stepped in.
Trio! Till I come and me want a trio.
The boy, who didn't have any phone or money on him, had no means of getting home to Netherton in Liverpool.
Can we... Oh, here's a fun phone in. 0344 499 1000. Chocolate bars, adverts where classic songs have been used for chocolate bars. So far we got...
Old sweets we're talking then?
No, we're not actually.
Old telly?
No.
Yeah,
it's neither of those, but it's a bit of them. It's very specific. It's classic music and chocolate bars.
Okay.
So far we got trio, and a bar a club. Remember that one? They were all in court, and then they started singing. Instead of singing Barbara Ann, they singing bar of club for the club bars. And club bars were absolutely bloody awful. So specifically, classic songs. This is a very specific... Classic songs that were used in adverts for bars of chocolate. Not interested in any other sweets. It's got to be bars of chocolate. Go. 0344 499 1000.
Year 11 student Tom O'Brien gave the boy £10 for a taxi while Year 7 students Harry Campbell and Dylan Robson made sure he got home safe. The act of kindness was shared on Facebook by a mum, and the sin gone viral, with thousands commenting.
Sin gone? You said sin gone.
Sin's gone viral.
No, OK, that's not what you said.
Did?
That's not what you said. You said sin gone.
Milk.
Milk, lemonade, round the corner chocolate's made.
Colette, Harry's mum, said the whole situation restores faith in humanity. But it was spoilt by Iain Lee, who'd rather hear a story with boobs in.
I want to know what's wrong with Katie Price.
Is there something wrong with her?
Oh, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wasn't that a drink?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First bite into real milk chocolate. It's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 bar. That was the name of the bar. First bite in a real milk chocolate. A 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah, Matt, this is great. Let me tweet this.
Oh, God, no, please don't.
Looking for
Accidental Partridge will be all over it. They'll be getting a partridge boner.
Accidental Partridge doesn't know what Accidental Partridge means. You speak to Dave, I'm doing this. Dave, you're through to Catherine.
Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Dave. Blow that out.
Yep.
Blow that
I
out.
know it's... Funny. I know it's not a chocolate bar. Just a quick phone call. This is I'm going to bed. Does you remember the Vitalite advert?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to put that one out there.
Ian, do you remember it?
No.
I do, and he doesn't...
I'm not singing it, though.
Okay.
You'll have to find it on the internet and have a look.
It was, oh, Vitalite.
I'm not singing the rest. I'm not singing it.
No. Thanks for phoning, Dave.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Night-night. You started that. You've got people ringing up saying, do you remember this advert?
I tell you what we'll do. Hang on. Why am I'm doing the commas in the 5, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1. I tell you what, we've got 2 phone-ins running at the moment. I tell you what, you do a phone-in. I tell you what, we've got a lot of people saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We've got that one now. We've got 3 phone-ins. Kath, do your phone-in about the kid on a bus.
It wasn't a phone-in, it was just an interesting, heartwarming story.
Make a phone-in out of it.
All right.
Go on, and let's see. We're going to see who's the best at phone-ins.
All right, here we go.
I've got 2, so you've got to try and get 2 out of that.
Out of that?
Yeah, because I've got 2 out of mine.
Okay. Wrong bus, call me now, 03444991000.
Okay, yeah.
And...
So we're going to jot these down and see who gets the highest score. Wrong bus?
Wrong bus.
Yeah.
And, let me think.
Okay.
When was the last time someone gave you a tenner?
Okay, someone... I just put tenner. All right, so mine are old classic songs, chocolate bar.
Oh, God.
0344 499 1000, classic songs, chocolate bar. And what ads do you remember?
Oh, God, no.
So we're going to see who gets the most phone calls. 0344 499 1000. So
the most phone calls or the best phone calls? Because we're just going to get a load of people going,
most.
Yeah, I can remember this that was on the telly.
It's all filler.
Well, I mean, that is filler.
Cats are, have you ever been on the wrong bus and when did someone give you a tenner?
And the things you can have a chat about.
And the other one, my ones, the good ones...
What do you remember off the telly?
No. Yeah. Please, don't forget the listeners are idiots and you're now just throwing words at them and their brains are melting. So Kath's not very good ones are... Have you ever been on the wrong bus? When would someone give you a tenner? Not very good, those. Mine ones are good. Classic songs that have been used to advertise chocolate bars. And be very specific on that, chocolate bars. And what adverts do you remember? 0344 499 1000. Let's put a little bit of... let's get some phone-in music. Phone-in music. Oh, here we go. This is a great phone-in song. That's an advert for diesel. It's an advert for nothing. For diesel petrol. 0344 499 1000 is to take that phone call. I bet it's for me. Here we go.
Boris, I've played with feet before.
I wish Philip in South Norwood on you. I wish him.
Okay. It's a good call.
Come on, I'll tell you all the telly remembers, and we'll be here all night.
You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need me.
That's not as good as I thought it would be.
That's sexy.
It's Drake, Hotline Bling.
Drake sounds proper bored in all his songs, doesn't he?
He does.
Even when he's talking about sexy time.
Is there one about where he gets home at like 6 in the morning?
6 in the morning, and I got home at Barking Station. Is he English?
No, he's
There's a song
Canadian,
about-
I think.
There's a song about Barking Station.
Does he?
6 in the morning, Barking Station.
No, he doesn't.
He does. Someone does. Here we go. This is phone-in music. Here we go. Let's go to first call. They're up. They're running. Alan, what topic have you called in for?
Hi there. Chocolate bars.
Of course he has.
Here we go. Which classic songs have been used to advertise chocolate bars, Alan?
It is, I've got those, can't get enough of those blue ribbon blues. Remember that song?
Yes, I do!
Do you know what I mean?
How do you remember that? You sound about 26.
No, I'm 50.
Shut up, man! You just shut up!
Yes, yeah, I'm not kidding.
What year were you born?
67.
Okay.
Blimey.
I'll give you that. Wow.
He's born in the actual 60s.
Blue, you were born that Sergeant Pepper was out. You were high on LSD when you were a baby. That was a good...
I wish I was, but yeah, I like to think I was. I like to think.
Blue Ribbon. That was another boring biscuit, wasn't it?
It was crap, but the guy that sang it. Oh, what was he called? He was on Monty Python records. I remember that. But he was like some sort of
really
kind of Oh damn it! I should have done the research before.
No, listen, you've done well, Alan. It's appreciated. Thank you, mate. Excellent first call. Let's go to Ray.
Yeah, songs used in chocolate adverts. The Banana Boat song was used in an advert for Cabana.
Well, what was a Cabana?
It was caramel, coconut, cherry, and a chocolate. That's pretty much that. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm having it, mate.
Cabana.
But then, hang on a minute, that means the Banana Boat song has been used twice, because that was Trio as well, wasn't it?
Trio, yeah, it was.
Is that the Banana Boat song? Or that's Deo. Is Deo the Banana Boat song?
Yeah.
See, can I just pause you for a second? See, Catherine, we're now having a really interesting...
You're not. You're having a conversation. It's not interesting.
We're having an interesting
it's
conversation.
It's about stuff you remember off the telly.
About the evolution of music.
No.
And folk songs.
You're kidding yourself, mate.
Oh, a bit racist.
What?
Banana Boat song is a classic...
Go on.
It's a classic folk song.
From?
Calypso.
People of Colour.
Wow.
Thanks, Ray, for your input. It's much appreciated.
You're doing a Ray phone-in. Just pointing that out.
It's for people of colour.
What?
This is good, isn't it? Do you remember the Penguin Cafe Orchestra? What was their one? The harmonium song. Do you remember that? Penguin. He's dead now.
Stop asking me if I remember things. This is all right. This last 20 minutes is Iain Lee's reminiscence half hour.
His son does it now, I think.
When I used to work in local radio, there used to be an old fella called Eddie Grabham. He was wonderful.
Eddie Grabham by the boobs.
No. He was a delightful old chap, and he used to do every Christmas. He'd do Eddie Grabham Remembers.
I'm all in lonely. Do you remember this?
And that's what you're doing. Iain Lee Remembers.
Do you remember this? You remember this song though?
Hurdy-gurdy.
No, it's not. It's a harmonium. It's called Song for a Found Harmonium. I can't... It's,
What's that noise?
So far... Don't forget you can call in with what ads do you remember? Classic songs used to advertise chocolate bars, specifically chocolate bars, and we've got 2 for the Banana Boat song. And cast topics... When have you ever been on the wrong... I remember this song. When have you ever been on the wrong bus? I can't listen to this song. Can't listen. Reminds me of being very naughty. When have you been on the wrong bus? And has someone ever lent you a tenner? Was that it?
No. When was the last time someone gave you a tenner?
Okay. It's the same...
Well, we can do the easy one of stuff you remember.
Okay.
If you're called, I don't know, Alan or Ray.
Andrew.
Andrew. There we go.
Hello. I wasn't on the wrong bus ever, but... I do know a song, Ho, 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 It's Magic, which was an Aero advert back in the 80s, I think it was. Sorry, Kath. Don't block me.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I tried. I haven't got anything.
Ho, 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 it's magic. No. Ever believe
It's not so. Andrew, can I ask you a question?
What's that?
What adverts do you remember?
Oh, God, don't. I live in Vegas and I watch American TV and they're hideous. I switch off whenever I can. Adverts I can remember?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Tip-top.
My head is full of aero adverts and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at the moment.
All right, well, if you think about it, give us a call and we'll put you straight to the front of the queue.
Yeah, let's do that. Adverts you remember.
Yeah, I'm sure I can do that.
Thank you, Andrew. 0344 499 1000. Looking forward to speaking to Andrew again, hopefully in a few minutes.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Come, Mr. Magic Man, make me a cabana. Daylight come and we won't go home. Coconut, caramel, cherries and milk chocolate. Daylight come and we won't go.
A little bit racist as ever, but fun. Cabana, cabana.
Daylight come and we won't go home.
There we go. That's the Cabana advert there. Thank you to Ray for sending us that. We've got plenty of these calls to get through.
Let me think. Right,
Yeah.
so we've had an Alan, we've had
An Andrew.
Yeah. David.
There we go. Let's go to...
Were you joking?
Well done. Let's go to David.
Wow.
Good evening, David.
Evening.
Evening, David. What have you got for us tonight?
I got on a wrong bus once.
Yes!
Okay. All right. Well, that's one for Kath, a sympathy vote. Away you go, David. I'll keep quiet. You speak to Catherine.
Oh, yeah, Kath.
Hiya. Tell me about your bus story. It sounds great.
It is. Got on the bus, asked to go to West Brom. He said, no, this isn't the West Brom bus. I said, oh, sorry, thank you very much, and I got off.
Hang on, David. We've got to stop you there. Sorry, we'll get back to David's story in a second. But do you remember a few minutes ago we were speaking to Andrew?
How could I forget?
And we asked if Andrew remembered any adverts to call straight back. Andrew's back on the line. Good evening, Andrew.
Hello, sir. I was on this bus and it was number 27, but it should have been number... No, I can't do it. Okay, 6 aliens sitting around a table on the spaceship, and all I remember is the end went something like, for mash, get smash.
They were they were like metal zippies, weren't they?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. Smash advert. Nice one, Andrew. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Let's go back to David. Sorry,
so
David.
You were supposed to be going to West Bromwich, or you were supposed to not be going to West Bromwich. Which was it?
I was going to West Bromwich, so I got on the bus and I said, West Bromwich, please. And the driver said, I'm sorry, mate, it's the wrong bus.
Okay, that's a great
crazy.
Story. Let's go to Paul. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, folks. How you doing?
Very well. Oh, here we go. Hang on, got to stop you there. Hang on.
You know I'm waiting, just anticipating.
But what is the chocolate bar?
The pure taste of coconut.
But while I'm waiting,
Bounty is moist, tender coconut.
This Bounty advert's giving me a stiffing.
Drenched in a sea of chocolate.
try a little tender.
Classic songs used to promote chocolate bars.
It's always the disappointing one in your selection box, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Jen is saying, let's stick together. Brian Ferry for Twix. Brian Ferry for Twix. I remember that campaign. Sorry, Paul. I hope we've not stolen your thunder there.
No, at all, man. I was actually just going to say that I was given £10 today.
Yes!
And
well, hang on. Well, the phone-in was, have you ever been lent £10?
No, when was the last time you've been given £10?
Okay, all right, then go on.
I was given £10 today,
quick.
yeah.
If you could be quick, please, because we've got a lot of calls to get through, and Paul Ross will be in soon.
I bought a Lion bar. Wild thing. You make my heart
Yes,
sing.
man!
You make everything groovy. Wild thing.
I don't see the connection.
I love you.
I don't see the connection. Why did you just start singing?
The advert for Wild.
Oh, right.
No, for sure.
Still going. Okay. You all right, Paul? Have you got someone there with you?
Yeah, good, thank you both. Love you both.
Love you more, mate. Call of the night.
Off your pop, Paul. Off to
I
bed.
thought I cut him off. There we go. I can't cut him off.
Laughing
He's
to
gone.
himself.
So, let's just tally these up. 5 calls for classic songs for chocolate bars.
All of them heavily medicated.
1 call for what ads do you remember?
Yeah.
1 call for the wrong bus.
Wrong bus. £10.
No.
He got £10 today and he spent it on a Lion bar.
He was lying to get it into the... He was lying to get...
I don't believe he bought a Lion bar today.
He didn't. He didn't get £10. He was saying there was an advert for Lion Bar and the song was Wild
Are
Thing.
you mansplaining a phone call to me?
It turns out I have to. Marty!
All right, Ian. All right, Kath. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
Yes, mate.
While I was on hold there, I just thought of a chocolate advert that has a classic rock song.
Oh, great.
Got to be a chocolate bar, Marty. Got to be a chocolate... A lot of people are saying Quality Street on my Twitter feed, and every one of those simpletons is getting blocked.
That's not a chocolate bar. I'm thinking the Cadbury's advert, you know, with the gorilla on the drum in the airs tonight.
Yes, man! This is the best phone. We're going to do this. This phone-in is going to roll over tomorrow.
Gee.
We're going to roll this over, 'cause this is great.
Oh, look at this idiot on Twitter. Darren Izzard sending me the Scotch videotape skeleton re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fail away.
Yeah.
No, Darren, no!
Why no?
Because you want...
It's an advert he remembers. It fits into one of my categories.
No, I thought you were doing pop music that goes with chocolate bars.
And also, what adverts do you remember?
Oh, I'm blocking him anyway.
You remember... Marty, are you right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I thought you was being attacked. Right, what else have you got for us?
Oh, actually, I was going to ask, you play piano and keyboard, right?
Yeah, I do, actually, yeah.
I mean...
Shut up.
Yeah, man. Shut up. So I just bought a keyboard, and I was wondering what kind of songs, Beatles songs, would you recommend that are easy to learn?
Go on, tell him, Ian.
What? I'll tell you the easiest one.
I saw him on Facebook one day playing piano.
And yet you're still asking him for advice.
I'll tell you a really good one is, and it's the best one to learn on any instrument, I've Just Seen a Face.
Okay.
You learn it on any instrument because it's easy, but it sounds tricky.
Okay, cool. I've done Let It Be and Carry That Weight so far.
Oh, he's already better than you.
Well, I can do, well, in fact...
Hey, hey, we're the Beatles.
Oh, shut your face.
He done a crack in Obla Dee Obla Da.
Yeah, I did do Obla Dee Obla Da. Also, this is me. Can I play you something?
Video.
This was me on the piano earlier on. This is me today at home. Thank you, Marty. This was me at home, and I just sing around it. Lady Madonna, children at your breast.
Oh no.
Let's go to Billy. Good evening, Billy.
Hey, all right, Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm okay.
What? Can you hear me?
Unfortunately.
Oh, that's not nice. I just wanted to tell a story about getting on the wrong bus.
Yes.
Okay, I thought he would be one of yours.
Why, because he called you Lee?
Yeah, aye, because he's from Manchester.
No, he's not.
He's mad for it. Go on then, Bill.
So I got on the bus, and where it was going down, and I realised it was going down the wrong way of the street, so I got off the bus. Luckily, I had my bus pass, so I just crossed over to the other side of the road, got on the same bus going the other way, and then got on the right bus.
God, so close, though. Are you all right?
Yeah, it was, it's I've got over it now, yeah.
Good. I think the important thing is talking about it.
Yeah, well, I told all my friends.
Good.
Billy, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What adverts do you remember?
I remember those Dorito adverts where it was a still picture, but the mouth was a video of the mouth moving.
Nice one, Billy. Thank you, mate.
I don't remember that.
That last bit, that last 20 seconds was more interesting than the 2 minutes building up to it.
Wow.
Pablo
Can't let me win, can you?
Pablo Picasso was never called an asshole. Do you know that song?
No.
It's a good one. Evening, Pablo.
I'll do.
Yes, what have you got?
Just an advert song that is personally connected geographically to me, so I don't know if it's remembered by everybody.
Okay.
It's Florida's Orida than Whitley Bay. There's no McEwen's export in the USA. That one.
Okay.
I don't know why I went Yorkshire there with that one.
Thanks very much indeed. There was...
That's what you're going to get.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right. Well, so 6 calls for songs. Come in, Paul.
Every one of them boring.
6? No, they weren't actually.
Yeah, they were.
They weren't actually, Catherine. They weren't.
Got the hazelnut in every bite. Topic.
Rich cream caramel for your delight.
Right.
Do you know this gentleman?
Unfortunately, he's one of my colleagues and a very respected member of the industry.
Come gather round, folks, if you please, and hear what's new from Cadbury's. New country style.
But these...
And for the teenagers, that was in a pink and white gingham wrapper.
But no,
and it had people doing hillbilly dancing on the advert.
But it's not based on a classic song. So that would have to go into what adverts do you remember?
And he certainly remembered it. You remembered it, though.
Well, you're sounding less petulant, Kath.
I'm totally petulant. I would also go so far to say I'm obstreperous.
Although the etymology of petulant is petulans from the Latin, which means impudent, which is quite attractive, isn't it? Impudent.
I've been advised of that as well in the past.
We've been
not in this building, we hope.
Hang on a minute.
Just one titchy bit of toast. We gotta put them straight. We're the Weetabix.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Adverts that you remember. We'll carry my two topics over tonight.
I did a Weetabix advert when I was about 13, 14, the last advert I did as a kid, and it was, you get a bigger blooming breakfast, a bigger blooming breakfast, a bigger blooming breakfast in your bowl. And I'd never had a dancing lesson in my life. Went to the advert, lied completely, and it was the last one I did before I developed spots and pubic hair and had to stop doing adverts. Basically, but all my brothers did, so we did them as a family quite often.
I can't find that on YouTube, otherwise we'd be blasting that out now.
A big, we filmed it over in East London, where it was a kind of bank holiday Monday or something. I remember I got £8 for it, and my mum got £5 for chaperoning me.
Beautiful.
Big money in those days. That was big money.
That's good money, isn't it?
Big money.
That's all right.
But as kids, we got no repeats, which I still think is a parlous travesty of justice.
And how did it work with your mum? Did you get the money, or did she put it in a post office for you, or were you allowed to...
Neither.
No.
The money seemed to go into the general family pot, which was fine. My milk round money didn't, nor did my Sainsbury's money, or my Fine Fair money, but the other money went into one big pot.
Okay, well, there you
Although when I chaperoned, when I got to about 17...
Yeah.
And could vaguely... I would chaperone the younger ones, and I would get that £5. And I remember... quite often they were done in studios around Soho, Broadwick Street, Berwick Street, and I'd be spending kind of rainy October, Sunday afternoons wandering around a completely closed... As everything closed in London in 77, trying to peer through those yellowy windows they used to have to stop the mags fading.
Yeah,
so I could see anything through the side squinty bit of yellow.
Well, I'm old enough to remember going to London with my mum and dad in the late 70s. And now you've got... it still blows my mind. You've got Ann Summers in the High Street, right? But I remember we kind of walked through bits of London and you'd see these blacked out windows and the Triple X.
Yeah.
And it was just like black shop front. I said to my mum and dad, what's that? And they said, oh, you don't want to know what's in there. But now...
That's extra large.
Exactly. Paul Ross, what is on your show tonight at 1 o'clock?
Very quickly, we're talking Agatha Christie. She's the biggest-selling female novelist writer of all time, even more than J.K. Rowling. 2 billion books, 100 million copies of one book alone called And Then There Were None. It's her birthday this weekend. We're going to Torquay, where they're having an amazing-sounding Agatha Christie weekend.
Is she coming on?
Well, we've got Doris Stokes lined up. She's dead as well, so we'll all join hands and hope for the best. Don't be petulant.
Oh, that'd be good.
I can't believe somebody offered that as a bit of 360-degree BBC nonsense. Was it the BBC? I presume it was the BBC.
Of course it was.
Of course it was the BBC.
Oh, man, they don't like it up them.
The evil empire, Stalin without the death case.
Anything else? We've got ages.
We've got loads on the show tonight. Oh, we're also talking about a new system where chaps got with an interesting idea of if you don't want your 9, 10, 11-year-old to have a smartphone...
Yeah.
Or the school won't allow them, and they're too valuable, but you want to know where they are.
Oh.
He's got a new watch that's a kind of tracker, or even you can put them in insoles of their shoes. You don't, you obviously let the kid know, so that's quite interesting. And he developed it out of a system they got in the States for giving watches to people with early onset Alzheimer's or dementia, so you can always find out where they are. So I think it's quite an interesting one, because I've had terrible moments when, I remember years ago, I took my 4 daughters... my second weekend as a kind of absentee dad with them. I got them for the weekend, took them into the Brixton Woolworths, which used to be massive.
Yeah.
And they went in and they scattered. It was like kind of mercury on a warm surface. And I couldn't find the youngest one for about 8 minutes. And it was like the longest 8 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
If I'd had a little track on, that would have been great, wouldn't it? We've like a Lynx Atari.
Every parent's had that moment where you think you know exactly where they are, and you turn around, oh my god, and you're calling them,
and your stomach sinks,
and that panic it's happened to me for like 3-4 minutes. And that panic rises. Generally, they're okay. My youngest gets very upset if he can't find me, but generally it's like they just sat round the corner.
There's
playing
a great book. They turned into a film, indifferent film with William Hurt called The Accidental Tourist, and there's a line in that which says, "Being a parent means never knowing a day without fear again." And it's so true, isn't it? I mean, it's a kind of loving, nurturing film. Oh, it's scary.
Paul Ross is on at 1 o'clock.
And the usual Tosh.
There we go. Thank you very much. It's always a good listen. He puts more work into his show than anybody else does on this station. Thank you very much, Catherine.
Hey, welcome.
Oh, Paul, let me give you my new CD from my record label, Michael Nesmith Live. It's a good one.
I know you're saying you're not on Twitter. I tweeted a great photograph of the lads together going through what was believed to be their first Monkeys read-through.
Yeah, we go, yeah. It's lovely. Thank you
Get back on Twitter, you love it.
Oh, Paul! We'll be back tonight at 10. Don't go anywhere. Paul Ross is up next. Ta-ta!